piece of our tax dollars. You're muted.
Oh, hello?
You're muted.
Oh, hello?
All right, there we go. Back to the show, right? And that's the way it's been working here in TV land all over the United States. We've been watching a lot of interesting things happen throughout the week. We've got Nancy Pelosi thanking George Floyd for his life and his sacrifice, which is, Stevie goes, so I don't remember anybody asking George if it was okay to do that, right? That was fucking amazing. We also have some other people on trial that are police officers. Good luck with that. Because in the past, I don't know, since 2005, 7 officers, police officers in the United States have been convicted of some type of second, first, third degree manslaughter out of 15,000 plus people. 15,000, right? We also have people pushing the jab, pushing the shot, pushing the fucking experimental solution to go in one's arm, just nonstop, left and right, no matter what. And I mean, the majority of people that I see on Facebook and Twitter are like, no, fuck you, fuck you. And I don't believe the numbers. I don't believe it's a bazillion people. I just don't believe there's that many stupid people in the United States. But I've been wrong before, because we do have some somewhat very uninformed people all over the country. And something I was just saying to Stevie was, what's interesting is there are people out there that thought that we would, or knew, not thought, or had the inclination and the information and did the research and the investigations. They were going, guess what? I bet you in a year they're going to have a passport for the vaccine. And sure enough, lo and behold, a lot of countries, a lot of businesses, even some states are starting to push this forward, or trying to make this mandatory, the law that you have to be jabbed to go to a movie theater, to go to a concert, to go anywhere there's going to be a lot of people. Because, there wasn't anybody in Walmart. There wasn't anybody in Target a year ago. There wasn't anybody in, going in and out of the McDonald's drive-through and the Taco Bell drive-through, right? For years and years, exchanging the money and the card and the food and touching stuff and spitting on your ATM card and handing it to the next person and pulling it out of your ass and giving it to somebody else. No, that never happened, right? And they want to put chemicals and crap in the ventilation systems of theaters and large auditoriums, so everybody's getting this stuff. They don't want to just give it to you intravenously. They want to get it into your system any freaking way they know how, which is very alarming. It's very alarming. It's almost like there's an agenda in regards to this, which there is. I mean, like I've always said, there's 3 parts. There's the draconian corporate government that's happening through the new predator donor class that is making this happen. They're using the flu to as the catalyst to make bazillions and bazillions of dollars of money, which they've already been, most of it they've been paid for. Now they're just getting royalties in a sense at this point, and commissions, and they're pushing more and more and more. I mean, they not only want you to have the initial, but they want you to have the second, and then you should get one every 6 months. No, you should get one every 3 months. No, I think we should get one every fucking day for the rest of your life, right? So this is going to continuously happen. And then the other part of that is the control factor, right? Because you have social credit coming. China America is on its way. China America is on its way, and it's coming in a big fashion. In regards to the passports, and you got to have everything, and they're going to give away all this information, and they're going to know what you think, you eat, you. I mean, they know a lot of stuff already. Tell me that. I mean, let's get that out of the way. Let's get that. They already know pretty much everything they can and want to know about you. But this is the next phase of social engineering. This is the next phase of total and absolute control on the masses. This is really happening in real time right now. The third aspect of this, and this is where you bring in Bill and Melinda and some eugenicist people, it's the D word, depopulation thing, which gives them a fucking hard on just talking about it, which is just ridiculously sick and disgusting and horrific just to think about it. And that's part of, I think that is basically the entire process. It's a 3-part program. The core of it is money. No, the cores of it, there's 3 cores. So money, control, depopulation. I don't know what else to say. And the title of this show, it's very simple. Do we comply or do we defy? Right? Comply or defy. Comply or defy. Comply or defy. Say that 20 times as fast, 5 times as fast as you can. I mean, it's getting to that point. I know there's a lot of people out there bringing this information up, and there's more and more starting to understand. I had a conversation with somebody who called me a clown, a fool. I mean, I get it every day on Facebook. I get it every day on Twitter. And then I just I don't call them naive. I don't call them ignorant. I don't call them stupid. I don't call them the things they're calling me left and right. Sticks and stones can kind of break my bones. But names just, it's nothing to me. Because I'm actually trying to help them. Because I'm actually trying to inform them. Because I'm actually trying to give them the information that the people behind me, right, the big studios, the people that get paid by the advertisers, which are the big industries, big pharma, big oil, big coal, military industrial complex, big insurance, pay for these billion-dollar studios, right? They pay for these giant studios and their paychecks. They don't give a shit about you. NPR, Associated Press, BBC, MSNBC, Fox, you fucking name it, CNN, the whole 9 yards, Al Jazeera, they're all in it. They all want their money, and it's been proven. Veritas just got some really, really great information in regards to what the mainstream media is all about. And if you have, and most of you know this, anybody that follows what I do knows this, that mainstream media and their agenda, of course, are clicks and likes and a larger audience, which brings bigger numbers as far as advertising. No brainer. But are they going to say anything that really helps you? Maybe, kinda. But nothing that's really going to be pertinent to what's going to help you. Nothing that's going to be basically grounded and stern enough to give you the information for you to make a calculated, analytical, critical thinking type decision. They won't do that. Their job isn't to do that. Their job is to keep you confused, feared, hated, divided, the whole 9 yards. I mean, you got it. And you okay over there? Yeah. We have like 4 different cameras here, and we're trying to get the right camera for her. And we're going to invest pretty soon on some better cameras and some better technology. But in a nutshell, it's real simple. And Steve and I have been agreeing with this on Slow News Day and Glory, and a lot of other people, Misty, Andrew, Convo Couch. It's like you're either in our way. I'm getting red. We must be stuttering. How much stuff do we have on? It could be the processor of what this thing is doing. I've got a lot. I got to get off Twitter too or something. Yeah, we're stuttering a lot. We're going to red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. I'm still flopping in red and yellow right now. You got your Wi-Fi off? All right, let me see how. Yeah, we're just stuttering left and right now. They might be able to hear me, but we're stuttering left and right. Let me do the speed test real quick. If you want to say something, go ahead, because I'm going to do a quick speed test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yo Bro's here. He said that, yeah, we're lagging a bit. So yeah, we're working on it. We've been doing a lot of tech stuff tonight. Got kind of a late start getting set up and all that. But yeah, I was trying to figure out, well, not only we were, of course, having sound problems as usual, but then we were having I was trying to figure out my camera because for some reason it won't let me zoom in on it, and it's taking pretty much all of the background. I have to sit right up on the camera for it to work. So I got that figured out. So, one thing tackled, but we're still having other gremlins, but we're trying to do our own tech stuff. So it's
let me say what's going on. So my download speed is 196. I'm usually at about 300 to 40 upload. Right now I'm at 9 upload, and it's not good at all. Maybe, which is strange because I've got a really good internet system, so this is very odd to me. Hopefully it'll free up and get better in a little bit, but there's really nothing I can do in regards to those speeds because I am paying for 1 megabyte. 1 megabyte. 1 gigabyte. 1 giga. I'm paying for a whole gig. Yeah, it should hopefully get better. All right, so I'm going to get off here. That might help too. I think it's starting to pick up a little bit. My computer's running a little faster. Okay, so I think you guys kind of get the gist of it. So I know a lot of people think they're not complying, right? There's a lot of people out there that believe they're not complying. They're not complying to Big Pharma. They're not complying to the military-industrial complex. They're not complying to the major industries that feed the pockets of the predator-donor class. But when I hear people, and I'm going to play this for you guys, all right? There's this guy. He's been on Jimmy Dore. He thinks he's Mr. Progressive. And I am sick of the fucking titles. I can care less about the titles. I can care less about the It's doing it again. You're either a Republican or a Democrat or a Green Party or a Libertarian or a liberal or a Justice Democrat or a real progressive or not a real progressive. I mean, I'm fucking sick of the labels. It's the labels are created to divide you. That's why they have the fucking Rams, right, against the New York Giants. They're divided because they're separate teams. They're labels to divide them. That's why you have the Lakers against the Celtics. It's to divide you so they know who those fans are and who these fans are, right? They're labels. And this freaking... Oh, this thing is so slow right now. It's pissing me off. It's going green, yellow. It's really terrible. But I'm not sure what it sounds like. What else do you have up that's running? Anything else on your computer? I don't really think it makes a matter. Just right now, the internet's just super slow. Right now, the internet's just super slow. So I don't think it's us. But here it is in a nutshell, people. the dividing force that is penetrating or wedging, the biggest dividing force is behind me. Mainstream media. You know that. You know that. I know you know you know I know you know that you know that. I know that. Right? But let me just say this. They know that too. They know it's part of the script. They know it's part of the narrative. They know it's part of the way it works. And if we continue to use the labels Christian, Muslim, I mean, tell me that's work. Tell me religion, theism, and the labeling of has worked out and done well for everybody. Tell me it's been a good decision, right? Because I think we've killed bazillions of people on the planet in holy wars. You don't believe in my freaking Catholic. Oh, you don't believe in my Christian. Right? And it just fucking continues. Right? And all it is just somebody's made up comic book hero that you believe. Fuck you. I like Iron Man. No way. I like fucking Green. DC's better than Marvel. Fuck you. Right? It's just. But when you come down to it, we just want more joy and more and less pain. More joy and less pain. Come on. Tell me that's the fucking bottom line, right? So, and I think there's a ton of common ground right now for a lot of us, the 99%. So the more we comply, right, and take a side, right, because this is what they want us to do. This is what the World Economic Forum wants us to do. This is what the Council on Foreign Affairs wants us to do. This is what Davos wants us to do. This is what these oligarchs want us to do. Is they want us to hate each other and not them. Not the orchestrators. Right? Not the orchestrators, not the planners, not the people setting up the pins. Because we know if you know what I know, then you know that I know that you know who's setting up the pins. I'm not going to do that to you anymore. But I am going to say this. Let's get away from the labels. Let's just agree we all need better wages. We all need better healthcare system. We all need less wars. We need to stop being socially engineered by every industry on earth, because it's just up for grabs. But the problem is, the more you comply with the status quo, right, the more you're going to get this. And there's a guy that I know he's pretty popular out there because he has a lot of followers. I'm going to play it if you don't mind real quick. Is that okay? Thank you for being on, by the way. Sorry I'm hogging up all the stuff here. But we've got green. Green means I've got a good signal. So give me just a moment. I'm going to play it. Hopefully... I'm going to say this is the Dollop with Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds. Dave Anthony has the deeper voice, right? And these guys got some good stuff. There's some good stuff in here. I'm not...
I mean, like, look, I've listened to the Dollop for years. I like their little, the way that they do things, how they, talk about history and how it's relevant today. Yeah. But I mean, it's just, I mean, look, Dave Anthony already got one strike with me because he was saying, don't blame Joe Manchin, blame the people in West Virginia. It's like, well, dude, I mean, it's like you're totally ignoring like gerrymandering and all the other things that pretty much enabled people like him to stay in office, right? So, it's like, okay, yeah, just harass like the second poorest people in America. Go for it. That's your thing. You want to punch down. But yeah, and then this was like, dude, I mean, like he almost made it through the entire episode of that podcast. And then at the last second, it was just,
It's like all the way.
I forgot to say my talking points.
I forgot to hit the script. Sorry. It's like throwing in the commercial, right? So, Let me just see if people can hear
person who
this.
does this thing, and he paid them to come up with a new look for him. It is so transparently stupid that it breaks my brain every time I see it.
It looks like he's doing an undercover boss on the.
So Dave is the lower voice guy. Gareth, that's a cool name, by the way, is the higher voice guy.
The Senate. Shit.
But
Well,
it works. You know,
it
it's
works.
It's worked forever in our country, as we can
Totally
see.
works, which is why just the last serious thing is, policy, local politics, and the policy of these politicians. That's just, what do they do? That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all I care about.
All right. Miss you, buddy.
Oh, and I get vaccinated.
Yeah, go get it.
I get it. You have problems with vaccines because of polio and all these other vaccines that you don't want to take. But if you don't want to get vaccinated, there's just things that you shouldn't get to do anymore. Like go to a show with a bunch of people. Like that's the choice you've made, and now you can potentially hurt other people. So, this is the situation we're in, and so we'd rather people don't come if they're not vaccinated. Because you can't hurt people for whom it's not a choice. They just can't take it for health reasons. So those are people that we have to now look out for. Australia's different because Australia is going for zero COVID. This is about America where we're like, whatever. All right, sorry. I mean, I know that's going to bum some people out, but, it's just this is a different world now. So thanks for listening, and come to TU that Ted Cruz went to someone who has styled him.
All right. So I know you guys heard that. I'm going to play it again. Let me just play it again.
He went to a person who does this thing.
An undercover boss on the.
But it works.
It works.
It's worked forever in our country, as we can see.
Totally works, which is why just the last serious thing is, policy, local politics, and the policy of these politicians. That's just, what do they do? That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all I care about.
All right. Miss you, buddy.
Oh, and I get vaccinated.
Yeah, go get it.
I get it. You have problems with vaccines because of polio and all these other vaccines that you don't want to take. But if you don't want to get vaccinated, there's just things that you shouldn't get to do anymore. Like go to a show with a bunch of people. Like that's the choice you've made, and now you can potentially hurt other people. So, this is the situation we're in. And
All right. So he's a complier. All right, let's go back. I'm going to go on. You're getting up. Okay. That's all right. No. You get okay. So you guys heard that. That was Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds. They have the show The Dollop. A lot of that has some good stuff. But I am going to say this right now. Talk about being meek. Talk about being malleable. Talk about being obedient. Right? So I know you guys have a problem with the polio. I get it. The polio vaccine took 3 decades. 3 decades. Hey, DJ Elf 7 in the house. Good seeing you. Yo, bro. Good seeing you guys. Coconut voice. I don't know. It's a fucking backup channel, bro. But anyway, so this guy says, and then he says, you don't get to go anywhere if you're not vaccinated. This is the script. This is the narrative. Make you do it. Again, he says, I know people have the polio thing and did it. Polio vaccine took 3 decades, bro, to make and to get approved and to get sanctioned and to get approved and to get FDA approved, which this new one, the experimental jab, the experimental solution is not FDA approved. Right? And I got people saying, no, I'm okay with taking the gene therapy thing. Now they're okay with that. I've got people out there saying, because they're spinning it like it's okay, for gene therapy is fine. No, it's fine. No, we do this all the time. We've got, how long have we been doing gene therapy? For a long time in Africa, in India, poor countries with warlords that get paid by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation tons of money to experiment on these guys are saying, oh, go ahead and, bed my people. You can take these people over here. That's okay. I don't care about them. Give me the money. Fuck them. This is what happens. They've maimed and destroyed villages of people all throughout Africa. If you were to see the spots, the red spots of the map that shows where they've stepped on, it's fucking disgusting. But this guy doesn't understand. And Dave, I don't think you get it, bro. You get a lot of things, but when did you start trusting the same people that are still killing people, like thousands and thousands of people, on this opioid epidemic that's still happening? When did you start believing and having faith and giving a pass to the powder that's been put on your butt, obviously because you're old enough, and others that cause severe skin problems, which has been in litigation for about 2 or 3 decades, that finally the Johnson & Johnson themselves are finally paying for? Just nothing. Just like a drop in the water amount of money for them. Right? When did you start believing that all these big pharma companies, these big hospital companies, yes, big hospital, that is an industry, my friend. And they are big donors to a lot of fucking people. People don't even know this part. Right? But the thing about you is all of a sudden, okay, as I always say, I fuck big coal, fuck big oil, fuck big nuclear, fuck big fracking, fuck the military industrial complex, and screw the big banks, fuck Wall Street, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Big pharma. I love big pharma. Right? I love big hospital. When did this change happen to people? Look, I've always said this. It is a megalithic, ginormous fucking marketing campaign against you. Ginormous. And it's hard for people to get out from under that heavy amount of branding, of talking points, of logoing, of what do they call it? They call it impressions. Jeff knows. Jeff knows what I'm talking about, right? Elf knows. Elf knows what they're impressions, just constant. And it's a continuous thing that people are fighting. They came out they set it up, Event 201, everybody knows that. That was Clad X was part of it. Dark Winter was a proposal back in the day. Atlantic Storm, another proposal that went south. But over amount of time, they kept it going. Right? The swine flu virus came out. HIV. Fucking all of a sudden, Magic Johnson doesn't have HIV anymore. Just gone. All of a sudden, what happened? There was a lot of money made from that. There was a shit ton of money from that scare. Right? The leader of the pie that we pay for, the leader of the pie that puts us in debt right now is still the military-industrial complex. But I am telling you, and just watch the numbers, baby. A close second is Big Pharma right now. A close fucking second. Soon it's going to be big nuclear. I think it's going to be big nuclear. right? And Kamala Harris said the other day, we've been fighting wars over oil for decades. It's like Freudian slip. No, she's a fucking whack job. All right, there's fucking psychopaths running this country. My mouse just fell on the floor, on the desk. I would love to sit down with her and have a conversation and talk about all the things she's done, all the decisions she's turned around and flipped off on, and continue the conversation that Tulsi just for some reason just forgot about. Right? She just never went back after her. Right? And now I'm hearing Tulsi reiterating Russia all the time. Oh, get out of there. It's going to fucking happen. Yeah, come on. Right? Look over there. No, look over there. That happens constantly in this country. Tunnel vision, tunnel vision, tunnel vision. What? This happens constantly. We are the greatest consumers on the planet for a reason. Because we can't stay focused. Now, I have ADHD. I'm pretty damn sure I do. Right? And a little bit of dyslexia. I'm pretty damn sure I do. Or whatever fucking new disorder the medical industry, Big Pharma wants to fucking make up to medicate me. Whatever. Right? I'm a hunter-gatherer. Let's just say that. But the thing is we can't... We have not you guys. You guys are great. Cheryl, hi. Johnson & Johnson are not finished with those lawsuits about the powder. Oh, they're not completely finished? I thought they've already been... So parts of them are done, from what I know. I think they're getting close. But they're still in litigation. I know that. They're still in litigation. And there's so many other things. Opioids, you got that. We had Joy, Savage Joy. She was talking about her $12,000 shots or $1,200 shots that she had to have because of her physical ailment that she's going through. I mean, what the fuck? An EpiPen costs $7,700. They're like one pill for some dose because they know if you don't take it, you're gonna die. So you'll rob, cheat, and steal and sell everything you got just to buy these fucking pills. This is the people we're trusting, Dave and Gareth. These are the people you're trusting and saying, hey, you know what? They're right. Take it. Fuck the blood clots. Fuck the seizures. Fuck the people that have already died from it. And all the doctors that have the doctors that aren't on the payroll. Right? The academia that's not on the payroll. The CDC, the NIH. These are the words that steer those algorithms straight towards me, baby. When you say CDC, NIH, World Health Organization, all in one fucking sentence, they're right at my doorstep right now. That algorithm, they're right at my... And they're not going to touch you, Dave or Girth. They're not going to touch you. Yeah, I don't believe Magic had HIV either. I don't. I think that was just a big show. It was just like Tom Hanks and his wife in the beginning of this thing. Tom Hanks and his wife have COVID. Oh my God. Oh no. Like the fucking poster boy for the United States for fucking what? Like 4 decades now? Right? The poster boy gets it. How convenient. Like that's the first fucking guy. Hey, you know what? You know who we get? Let's get Tom. Yeah, he's perfect. This is what Fauci, the greatest pharmaceutical frontman I've ever seen. The guy's amazing. Look, I hate to say this, guys, but I'm tired of complying. No, not hate to say it. I'm tired of watching people comply. I'm sick of them complying. I am ashamed that they're complying. I am disgusted in their compliance, their obedience, right? And their ability to easily just bend the fuck over, like Dave. And there's other people out there that aren't even talking. They won't even get close to this, right? And I bring up Jimmy Dore, and I bring up Mike Figueroa, because I have a hard time with his last name. Coglins, they won't bring it up. They understand the script. They know, and I get it. They don't want to lose their channel, but the biggest thing I always say to them is sometimes in a point of complete and total chaos, when things are down the road, we do not know what's going to happen. We have no idea how this is going to affect your 12-year-old, your 14-year-old, your 16-year-old, your 22-year-old, your 33-year-old, your 38-year-old. Will this affect them and their fertility? Will this affect them and will this sterilize them? Will they have complications in a year or two? We don't know, because we don't know. Again, polio took fucking 3 decades. The polio vaccine took 3 decades. And most vaccines take anywhere from 10, 15 to 20 years of serious, scrutinized, unbiased testing. But you know what? Pfizer said it's good. It's like me saying, you know what? The coconuts I have are the best coconuts, and they're the safest coconuts, right? This is probably a bad. But I'm saying nobody has coconuts like I have coconuts. I probably shouldn't use coconuts. Nobody has guavas. No, I probably shouldn't use guavas either. Banana. No, I shouldn't use the banana. Okay, let's just use something like a solution. Anyway, you guys get my point, right? I am going to say that my product is better than your product, but guess what? There's only a couple of products out there, and only a couple of people are making the big dough on these products. And for some reason, all of a sudden, the only competition that doesn't have the mRNA in it is Johnson & Johnson, and that goes out the door, right? All of a sudden, there's bad problems with it. That's gone. Well, there's only 2 left now in the United States, right? Moderna and AstraZeneca, right? Those and who owns those, right? Pfizer, who owns those? The big players, Bill and Melinda Gates, who's invested in all that, right? Tell me, I want to see the stock portfolios of all the public servants in Congress. I want that right now. I want to see where they've been investing and in what industry they've been investing in most. I want to see that, because we already know Nancy Pelosi being able, okay, for any, that whole thing is just wrong. Come on, that's just fucking ridiculous. Brian Aguilar, how you doing, buddy? Good seeing you. Yeah. Cheryl, I wanted to say, we had to restart the Zoom, so if did you get the thing to come on, or are you still trying to get on, or am I? No, but if you want, you're welcome to come on. Anybody that wants to come on is welcome to come on. Again, if I know you, we've been around for a little while, you're on. If I'm not familiar with you, and if I'm, I don't know, because we've had people come into my shows in the past, and I've been doing this since 2014, right? We've had some weird shit happen. Yeah, we've had some pretty bad stuff pop up on the screen here. You're just like, whoa, right? Guys just coming, oh, you fucking, we actually had some white supremacists at one time back in the, but it seems like right now a lot of those people would probably be very close to where I think, sadly. Thinking about, the freedom of speech being completely torn apart, right? Our First Amendment right now is just being completely destroyed and dissected. So again, like I said, how did conspiracy theorists know that there was going to be a passport for the vaccines a year ago? How did that happen? How did these silly conspiracy theorists, right? Sure enough, bingo. Right, it's me saying, how do we know that COVID was going to give brain damage? How do we know that? It's in the fucking script. Right? By the way, Otto Wood, The Dollop, it's a great show. The end, it just turns completely into shit. And by the way, David Anthony, I've got to tell you, buddy, I love a lot of your stuff. I've seen you and Jimmy a few times, but you are in the wrong place. Tell me you understand this. You are smarter than this. You are smarter than this, Gareth Reynolds. You are smarter than this, David Anthony. Go ahead. Go ahead and take over. I'm good.
I mean, yeah. Garrett, not Gareth, but Dave gets emotionally riled up by things. So I think that's his big thing. And I can't. I mean, the thing is, he cares, and he's not a bad guy for that. But he's wrong.
You fucked up. Ooh, you just got hammered by Stevie with Redneck Economics, Dave. Fucking A. All right. Yes? No, I'm done with these. I mean, you should understand by now. Either somebody's not telling you what the fucking joke is, which is it. Dude, you didn't see the punchline? Right? Because now you're the punchline. Right? Anybody that complies with this shit, you're making it worse for the rest of us. The more you all comply, the more we all have to comply. As long as they have the masses, right? And I have to say it with fervor, right? As long as they have the masses in the palms of their greasy fucking rich hands, bazillionaire hands, the more you're giving them power. It's defy. Stop this nonsense. I have a document I can share with people. Just ask me. I've been collecting information for over a year now. I've got scientists and teachers and politicians and all kinds of stuff and information from all over the world of people that aren't on the payroll, that aren't a part, that their name isn't in the script. Okay, Fauci says this, then Gill says that, and then Biden says this, and then this person says, in the script. Rachel Maddow says that, Anderson Cooper says this, and everybody's following the fucking script. I'm not in that script. I'm not in that show, man. Dave, if you want to get on that show, you're doing a great job. Okay? If you want to get on that show, you're doing a great job. Yeah, for sure. All right, next on the agenda. Let me just go out of, give me a second. I'm just going to jump to something. So maybe we'll break that up. Like, you know how they do? Like, by the way, kudos. Not kudos, but thank you very much. Bruno Franco, Frank Analysis, just threw us everywhere. I mean, I've never had that kind of exposure ever. I mean, ever. That was fucking awesome. By the way, thank you very much.
Dude, he has been busting ass getting those clips sent out. Like, he has went through, I mean, it was a 2-hour discussion that we had with him, and he went through every to put out there. And I mean, look, that takes time and energy that, is frankly, we're short on. People that do this that's a very precious resource, and he took his time out to do that. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And Nico House put our clip up, one of them up. So that's pretty cool.
I'm like, what, Nico? What? Honey, there's something going on with your computer. I don't know what it is. You got a lot of stuff running, but you're like fizzing in and out. I'm sorry, it's not you, it's your computer. Now, oh my God, your face is stuck. Oh, you don't want to see that one where it was stuck. I'm sorry you had to see.
I'm not gonna look.
Don't look. Do not look at that one. Don't look at that one.
I swear to God, YouTube does that on purpose.
I think I think they do. They fucking go after us, man. Oh,
Okay,
get her.
what's the dumbest face you made in this entire thing? Okay, we're gonna use that for the thumbnail. All right, thank you.
I think that's it. Oh, there she goes. Do it. Click now. Click it. All right, so let me see. This is a cool. This is a picture, and if you can see it closely, hopefully you can. And it shows. Let me just show you what this is. What it shows. Oh, my little coconut Voyager in the top corner there. I love that guy. There's the whip, right? The fear, and you know who that is. That's an oligarch. That's the 1%, right? That's the draconian corporate government cracking the whip. That's that guy. And behind him or pushing him or in his ear definitely is the predator donor class. Big coal, big oil, big fracking, big Wall Street, big banks, and especially big pharma. So in this picture it shows all these individuals or whatever they are bowing or listening to the master, and then it shows, of course, one person standing up. That would be me and Stevie and Stephen Glory and Convo Couch and even Jared Beck. That guy's awesome. You got to get out here with me, Jared, sometime. We've had a few conversations on Twitter. That guy's just a fucking brilliant man. And then other people stand up and they start to take off these masks and they start to take off this bullshit. And then that's when they win. What Dave doesn't understand, he's being controlled. What Jimmy doesn't understand, he's still being controlled. What Ron doesn't understand, he's still being controlled. What Graham doesn't understand, he's still being controlled. If you're not speaking out against the compliance, and you're going to defy, or at the very least, find the clarity and the courage, Jimmy's big words, right? To question authority, to analytically question authority and its source at every turn. Yeah. How in this day and age with pollution everywhere and people dying because they don't have insurance and wars everywhere and no, Afghanistan, they're not taking out all those people and they're still going to fucking start another war somewhere. We all know that. Come on. Oh, he's gonna end war totally, like everywhere, bro, everywhere. Biden's gonna end the war everywhere, bro. There's gonna be like no more war everywhere because of fucking Joe Biden, bro. Bullshit. Doesn't matter who it is. They're all a bunch of fucking stooges, frontmen. Other words for that is the puppets. They're just fucking puppets, right? But anyway, so finally people stand up. But this, I think, is a great picture, a good depiction of being uncompliant. People defying. That's what we need to do, is defy these sickly, hoarding, money-ass mofos. They're just disgusting people. Tell me, give me a billionaire that you, I mean, a lot of people will say Bill Gates because they trust him, because they don't know his past. They don't know anything about him. And they know him on the surface because of mainstream media. Okay. Yeah, I got that. I have that video. Cheryl, of Michael Yeadon. I have it. I can play it. But if I do play it, they're going to pull it. Yeah. You know, I don't think I give a shit here. I might just play it. Fuck it. Hold on. I'm kind of starting to like the Coconut Voyager, honey. I'm kind of starting to like that. All right, let me go back to the pics. Give me a second. Give me un momento, por favor. Back to the pics, my friend. Back to the pics. There's the good pics. My grandson, my kids, me doing right here. That's the my daughter when she was younger. That's me doing the gorilla face. I don't want subscribers. Donations I'm okay with, guys. Any help with paying the bills, getting faster internet speed is always helpful. Oh, yeah. Give me a second. Can a wrench give another person a wrench? Let's try that. Let me see. Give me a second. I'm going to give her the wrench real quick. Just un momento, por favor. Un momento, por favor. Oop, damn it. I'm on the wrong fucking show. Darn it. Hold on. Let me get back. Let me get out of here in the speed test. I was right there. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. There it is. Coming up, Cheryl. Wrench. Okay. How come I can't give her a wrench? Oh, because I'm not on my... I'm on my other channel, that's why. I gotta go incognito. I can't get it from here right now. I'm sorry. What are you trying to get? I have to get on my channel and log in. It's a big fucking process. If you got something to say or want to talk about it, I can do it. So you're sharing your screen, so just... No, I know what I'm doing. I'm asking you, do you want to take over for a second and maybe talk about something? And then I can go ahead and do this? All right, give me a second. I wanted to show you guys something. Oh, okay. I just wanted to show video right here. I love this picture right here, guys. This is one of my favorite. Tell me that doesn't hit home. You got anything you want to share? I mean, you can share on Zoom.
I got a picture.
All right. But I love this picture. The media is the virus. The media is the virus. I love that. I'm just going to leave that up there. One of my faves. That is a fave picture. Okay. So you're going to be in there talking, or what do you want me to do? Oh, God. Okay. Hang on. Now I can't do what I need to do. So give me a second. Yeah, but I didn't know what that would do, and I forgot that would take over my whole entire screen. So give me a second. Yeah, try it again and see if I can just get out of it and do what I need to do. Okay, go ahead. I can escape out. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So this is the thing is and Jimmy touched on this earlier. It's the fact that,
I don't think it's coming up. But give me a second.
Oh, because you're not. I think you have to be looking at it.
Hold on. Let me just check.
Don't worry about it.
No, I mean, I can. Let me look at it. Hold on. Give me a second. Do you have it up or you took it down?
Well, I took it down because it's just showing a black screen. Because I think you have to have it up. You have to have your OBS up or something. So.
Hang on.
Just finish up what you're doing. If you're trying to play a video from your channel, why can't you just go to your channel and play it? Instead of trying to log in.
Did you guys want me to give Cheryl a wrench? Because that's what we're doing. Am I right?
You don't have to log in.
I got that video, Cheryl. I'm going to play it. I think that's a dynamite video. All right, here we go. Un momento, por favor. Un momento, por favor. Un momento, por favor. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This will get me a strike. Right? Because they're going after this guy big time. And this is on the Last American Vagabond. Of course it is. Right? I might jump through it.
The COVID-19 mRNA vaccine. This new technology is being advertised just about every place you go. But is this new vaccine safe? And will it one day become mandatory? I'm independent journalist Taylor Hudak, and to seek answers to these questions, today I turn to former Vice President of Pfizer, Dr. Michael Yeadon. If you or someone you love is on the fence about receiving the COVID-19 vaccine or wants to learn more information, watch this video and send it to your loved ones, because this is a perspective that you will not find anywhere else. Dr. Michael Yeadon, first I want to thank you for joining me today and taking the time to speak with me.
My pleasure. I'm glad to inform you and your audience about my thoughts on this matter.
So before we do get started, why don't we begin with your qualifications and your background in the medical field?
So I'm a PhD research scientist. 40 years this year since I started my training, biochemistry and toxicology, followed by research-based PhD in respiratory pharmacology. So I've covered a wide range of life science disciplines necessary to identify potential targets for new drugs to treat respiratory, allergic, and immunological diseases. And now I've spent 32 years in pharmaceutical R&D, mostly in big companies. I left Pfizer 10 years ago as head of research worldwide for respiratory. And the last 10 years, I've been an independent entrepreneur advising several dozen startup companies, and I had the privilege of founding and successfully running for 5 years my own biotech, which was sold to Novartis 4 years ago. So that's me.
And you also held a position as Vice President of Pfizer.
I was Vice President and Chief Scientist of Allergy and Respiratory Research.
Okay, so I just want to start basic as well. For the past year, we of course have heard a lot about COVID-19 in the mainstream press. It has dominated the mainstream press, and one would believe, due to this coverage, that this virus is unlike any other virus that we have been exposed to before, that it is very deadly, and that the medical field is really unsure how to treat it. Do you agree with that assessment? And can you explain what really is COVID-19?
No, I don't agree with that assessment. I would say that it's actually a really rather middling kind of virus. Yes, it certainly has a heightened risk if you're elderly and already.
This is a 40-minute video. The reason why I'm stopping that video, just to let you know, and now my Zoom is gone. What the hell did happen to my Zoom? Just a second. All right. I think we're back. All right, good. So I am not going to go over this entire video. And the reason why is because it's 46 minutes long. But let me just kind of tell you in a nutshell. he is not an advocate. He's not complying. He's not defying, but he's presenting information that would make many of you defy completely. And this is the thing that they won't show, because that alone right there will probably get me a strike. And he hasn't really said anything. He just disagreed with, a little bit of information right there. So that person and that video has been removed from bootube. It's been completely removed. You won't see it. It's not on. See right here. If you try to watch it on bootube, right, that's what you see. You can't, right? So, and this has been happening for a long time. Anybody that challenges the narrative, anybody that doesn't really want to comply with the narrative or comply with the talking points or comply with the status quo, which the status quo Jordan Sheraton's complies with all the time. He's Mr. Complier, if you ask me. I forget to keep bringing up that shithead, right? Because I don't think that guy's what he says he is. I can just kind of I'm not saying I can see through him. I think he's just full of shit, and I know a lot of people would agree. So in a nutshell, the guys just know, like, he's anti. And for good cause. He explains very detailed reasons and very pertinent and viable information, right? This guy was a very high figure and has a great career in all of this, and he just he nails it. And it's very alarming information. There's another one I'm going to show you here real quick, right? I'm going to show you another. Okay. I wonder if this one's still, oh my God, still up. And I think the reason is because it's blurred out and you can't really understand them that well.
I've been teaching this for 30 years, and
this is the reason why.
Is that
it's very hard to understand.
It's not.
But you can barely.
I've been teaching this for 30 years.
You've been doing it for 30 years.
First things I tell my students is that the vaccines that work against tetanus, against diphtheria, against polio, being a godsend.
Even if you do the CC,
and you have to try to understand how
it doesn't really bring it up very well.
To use them, but if a toxin is,
are you anti-vaccine?
It's not. I'm pro-vaccine. I have been teaching this for 30 years, and one of the first things I tell my students is that the vaccines that work against tetanus, against diphtheria, against polio, being a godsend. And you have to try to understand how they work, and then you have to use them. But if a toxin is doomed to fail and doomed to claim lives and claim of people, you have to do everything to stop it. And this is the case with this COVID vaccine.
What we're talking about is a scientist here that doesn't just generally decide to, say this vaccine is dangerous, has a belief in the process and the use of them. So let me ask you more specifically then, what is it about this vaccine that is not fitting into the category of those vaccines you would normally celebrate? What is it that scares you about this vaccine?
Well, first of all, in order for a vaccine to pass the scrutiny of the authorities like the FDA or the European authorities, it has to be shown to be efficacious and to protect. All right, if you get tetanus, if 100 people get tetanus, 90 are going to die, all right, if they're not vaccinated. But if they're vaccinated, no one will die. Now that is efficaciousness. That is efficacy. Similar for diphtheria. All right. Now, in the case of COVID-19, if you are under 70 and you get the virus, your chances of dying are less than 0.1%. This is now internationally acknowledged, and John Ioannidis, one of the foremost epidemiologists in the world of Stanford, has published this, and this has appeared on the bulletin of the WHO in October. So anyone who doubts this is doubting a world authority. The fact is that you are virtually not able to die if you are under 70 and have no serious pre-existing illness. All right, so now, how in the world are you going to prove that a vaccine is efficacious if you can't prove protection against severe illness and death? And in fact, this is what has not been done, and therefore this vaccine must not be authorized. It must not be, the FDA is not allowed to pass it. It's not doing its job. You know, there has recently been a very, very good article in the British Medical Journal addressing this very issue. And the title of the paper is, "Will COVID-19 Vaccines Save Lives? Current trials are not designed to tell us." So if they're not designed to tell us, and they haven't told us this, what are we talking about?
In order to prove that the vaccine performs better than nature, you're going to have to prove that you can raise that mortality rate from the 0.02%, or depending on what group you're in. I mean, we're talking about 99.97%, or in youth, 99.997% survive it. How do you prove a vaccine is able to affect that 0.003%? I mean, you'd have to vaccinate millions, right, to ever even see if you have it be efficacious, and then it would be questionable.
I think, Adele, that anyone who's watching us now has to realize that the permission to use this vaccine is criminal. All right, and I dare to say this in front of any audience in the world and before any court in the world. And I tell you that this is being taken to court in Europe. What is happening is that the world is being turned into an animal experiment. And you and our children are being the animals that are being tested, the hugest experiment.
I think that sums it up. And this guy's he's not an anti-vaxxer, he's a pro-vaxxer. He's just saying this is just a test of the hugest experiment, which is what everybody is. But bottom line, that's what you're seeing right now. It's just, and if you want to be a guinea pig for Big Pharma, that's your choice. But the problem is the more you comply, the more the rest of us get mandated. The more the rest of us have to comply as well. And the reasoning for your decision to get the jab or the shot or the boo-boo or whatever you want to fucking call it, is frivolous. It's a fucking lie. It's all malarkey. It's baloney, right? Because the goalposts have been pushed back every month. You know, from 15 days to 2 months to 6 months to a year, masks and lockdowns and all this other shit. They just keep going. It's just fucking nonstop. It's nonstop. Cheryl, do you have the link to come on? Does anybody want to come on? Okay. Anyway, we're going to be on for a little bit. You guys are welcome to come on and talk. If you know anybody else that wants to come on, you're more than welcome to. I know the show does. Coconut Voyager doesn't have a lot of people, but hey. We talk about the real shit that's happening. I'm gonna share another video of a guy I found on Facebook, which I think is really, really interesting. I'm gonna go to it right now. This guy right here does a great analysis.
Post, which suggests that people who are speaking out against the potential dangers of vaccines.
So now they're calling people that are anti-vaccine, and here's the thing that is really alarming. Because once they are able to place that terrorist label on you, right? I'm not anti-vax. I am not. I never have been. I had a flu shot. I've been vaccinated all my life. But in this particular case, I'm not a lab rat. I don't want to be a lab rat. Okay? I'm not here to test your shit on. Okay? So the thing is anybody that does not comply with the status quo, I think we got Cheryl on now, that doesn't comply with the status quo, honey, could you change her number, please?
Who, me?
No, we'll do it for you. We got it. Just put Cheryl in there, Cheryl. But those who comply make others comply. So the terrorists
Never make me comply.
No, hell no.
No way.
No way. No way, no how, Cheryl. Honey, are you able to do that? Or you want me to do it real quick? Okay.
They can put me in a FEMA camp. I don't care. I'm not getting it.
Yeah, they'll force it at a certain. It's SHIRLE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So I mean, it's at a certain point they're going to get desperate. They're going to put out more money. They're going to tell their legislators, their judiciaries, and their executives, governors, and mayors, and they're going to throw money at these fuckers, and they're going to say, you know what? Do it. Here's your donor money. If you want your fucking donor money, then you need to get these people to comply. And that's been the case for the past, I'd say, 6 months or the entire year. Because
that's what they did with the election, right? If you want your campaign contributions, then you better get in line with the fact that Joe Biden won, or else we're cutting you off. And they got their minds right. So, and I don't put it past them to do something like that with this too. So
what was that article?
Oh, I don't know. It was all over the place. I mean, it was all kinds of companies. I mean, the big heavy hitter, industries like Disney and Walmart, all kinds.
What were they
Well,
saying?
now they're saying that a lot of people are being reprehensible about getting this vaccine. Because today, did you hear Biden talking about giving employers tax credits for their employees to take off to get the vaccine?
I mean, like, we don't have that luxury of risking that because, I mean, if anything goes wrong, we can't sue, we can't do anything. If there's some kind of like negative reaction, then that financially falls on the people that take it. And so, like, what we don't have anything in savings. Like, like most people don't have anything in savings, or they're working paycheck to paycheck. So how are they going to afford a medical emergency, especially when we don't have, a lot of people don't have health care. So, or inadequate health care, even if they do have it.
But it's amazing how they say they don't have money to give us Medicare for all, but they putting billions of dollars into getting this vaccine.
Yep. They put $1.1 billion just in vaccine. What was it called? Vaccine confidence. So they basically $1.1 billion just in vaccine propaganda. On top of all the other, it's nearly $4 trillion that they've given away. And that sure as hell didn't go to the American people.
That was in the last stimulus. That was part of the stimulus. They also gave Bill Gates, and they said it was for other things. But they gave him $3.5 billion fucking dollars. It's like giving a whale more water. I don't know how else to say that, right? To swim around in the ocean, because the guy's got he's got more money than any one whale in any ocean that we have on this fucking planet. So it's like giving more money to a guy that has over $100 billion for what? So he can push his fucking his experimental solution on everybody. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, the thing that gets me about all this is Again, it's the people that are compliant. It's the people that won't stand up. It's the people that don't have the courage. It's the people that for some reason just it's slipping out of their mind and they're just talking about the right, or they're just talking about the left. They're talking about the cops. They're talking about Floyd. They're talking about this and talking about that. But and this is where they want you to be. They don't want you to talk about the fact that there are people still having to go. I mean, I'm going in to this gas station and that liquor store over here. They don't give a fuck anymore. They're at the point where they got the sign out, but I walk in and I forgot to bring in my mask or whatever because I will do it just because I don't want to catch any shit. But the other thing is, which is stupid, but the other reason is I'll forget sometimes and I'll just walk in and they don't even fucking say anything anymore. People are just like, you know what, fuck it, just we're if you understand where and how this is being created and built, which I have completely and absolutely indicated in most of my shows for the past year, and I would say at least, 30, 40 shows? I mean, how many weeks are in a year? What, 50, 56, 52 weeks? Right, should know that. But I am completely and thoroughly indicating every point and reason why this has been a very well planned and orchestrated scam from the very beginning. The very beginning.
I mean, it's a scam that's been years in the making. This isn't just something that happened, by happenstance. I mean, this is something that many powerful people have been working on for several years, and you can even go back when was it Dark Winter and all those trial runs that those go back decades.
Cheryl, I got a question for you. What state again are you from? Philadelphia? Where again?
I'm from Philly.
Yeah, Philly. I was going to say Philly. How are people out there? Are they compliant mostly, most of them, or are they?
A lot of them are compliant, but a lot of other people are hesitant about taking this vaccine now. All of these vaccines, because they're trying to come up with different gimmicks to get people to take it.
No, like a donut. No, you can get a donut for Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Sam Adams is giving away beer.
Yeah, Sam Adams giving away fucking beer. I mean, what the fuck? Oh my God, I am never going to buy a Sam Adams beer.
And
that kind of sucks.
And the people still won't wake up. But I tell you, when Trump got elected, they gaslighted those people so much, all of the people lost their critical thinking. They lost it.
Yeah.
That was a front just to put this stuff out here and put fear in the people. And these people really fear it. I saw my neighbor, she got food delivered. She came to her door with a mask on. I'm like, why?
Oh.
I got food delivered. I went to the door without my mask on. But I'm coming. They have these people in fear.
I mean, we're from different states, different ages and all that. And it's just like, well, so far we've managed to survive. And, here's the thing, they've got at least three states right now that are completely, mask-free, totally open. So are you seeing the reports of thousands or of people dropping dead? Look at the Texas Rangers game.
They was filled to the max.
Are all those people dead now? Like,
no,
what is going on?
They didn't get COVID. And you got to think about Trump when he had all them rallies. A lot of people didn't wear masks, and he had thousands of people there. You didn't hear nobody coming down with COVID. They always kept saying, oh, this is dangerous what Trump's doing. This is dangerous what Trump's doing. And the people just fell for it. For it. Not using their critical thinking.
Oh, and you hear in the mainstream media, it's like, well, okay, well, they're super spreaders. But if you're dancing in the streets for Biden or at a Black Lives Matter protest, which is totally co-opted at this point, it's like, well, that doesn't have any effect on the numbers. None whatsoever.
They say they can't get it. The protesters can't get it. That literally came out the Democrats' mouth.
Oh my God. I mean, as much stupid shit as they say on a daily basis, that is not surprising, but still, that's a pretty bold statement.
Yes, they said they can't get it, and people don't learn. Well, why would they say those people can't get it? Well, because they're paying them. They're being bought and paid for.
Yeah. Because James is showing a picture of Fauci right now. I just found out, like within the past couple of weeks, that Fauci was, there during was working as part of the AIDS epidemic, and he came out and said that it could be transferred like by touch or something like that, instead of as difficult as it is, to actually spread. It's not an air, it can't be spread by like air or by touch or anything like that. And he was out there saying that and stigmatizing those people. So he'll just come out and throw his, degree out there and say, well, I'll just say whatever they pay me to say. It doesn't matter who gets hurt in the process. I mean, you think about how many lives were devastated by that. Just
he
by
was
that.
part of the HIV debacle. Him.
Oh yeah.
Him.
I mean, the whole thing was a shit show.
Yeah, it was.
And people
people
died
were
because of
scared
that.
Yeah.
And the same government is there telling us this is all about our health and safety. That wasn't too long ago. I mean, that was just like what, late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So I mean, hell, some of those people are still in office.
Mm-hmm.
But they care about our health and safety.
They keep their faith to heaven. I'm like, but when you go to the doctor and get a diagnosis or something, and you don't like it, you go get a second, third, or fourth opinion. Why are we just going by this one guy? He's the only expert in the world.
Oh, and he's a proven liar. He said, well, I came out and said that masks don't work because we had a shortage. Well, why didn't you just say we had a fucking shortage? Why did you have to go out there and lie to people? You lied. He has a medical degree. He should be stripped of all credentials. He should be sued and put in jail, right? But no, he gets away. He's like, you know what? I lied. No biggie, but I lied for a good cause. So are you lying to us now? But nobody wants to see that. The CDC tells us 1 mask, 2 masks, 3 masks, 4 masks, and we just go along with it. And everybody just like, well, that's okay. The Center for Disease Control doesn't know how masks work. The Center for Disease Control doesn't know how to stop the spread of something. Like, they don't know how to do this. This is their sole purpose. And they don't know how to do this. They're just coming up with information every single day that contradicts information that they said the day before. Like they're just now figuring stuff out. Like, they know how this stuff works. And yet they pretend like they don't. And then, but people don't put those things together. It just drives me crazy.
Have you been on their website? They have the zombie apocalypse on there.
What?
Yes. A zombie apocalypse.
What do you mean? A zombie apocalypse? What do you mean?
Like The Walking Dead.
What website are you talking about?
CDC.
They put something that pertains to or gives the perception of a zombie
apocalypse. Yes.
Oh my God! I gotta see
CDC. That's something. And they worded it something else. They mentioned The Walking Dead. They might have took it off, but people got hip to that now.
Well, I'm on the site right now, and the first thing I see is a woman wearing 2 masks. You don't need oxygen.
You know
okay. You don't need all those brain cells to watch MSM,
And in The Walking Dead, they're not wearing masks. I don't know what that means. Maybe whatever the drug's going to do to the person's body that they're taking the vaccines now, they may be walking around looking like that. I don't know.
The Walking Dead don't wear masks. I love that.
No, they don't, do they? You don't see them wearing masks.
No, of course not, yeah.
No, I see
not
it right
wearing
here.
masks. Huh? You see it?
Zombie preparedness.
Yep.
Oh, what? I am saying, what? Why would they even do this?
I'm telling you, this is a pandemic. This was planned.
It's fucking totally planned.
Page last reviewed February 23rd, 2021. So they looked at it and said, yep, we're gonna go with this. Okay.
Mm. Oh, they still have it up.
Oh my God.
And how many all the gaslighting people, they're not gonna go check the CDC, but they know it. That's why it's there. People like us we'll see it, report it, and they take us down.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Cheryl, you fucking nailed it, girl. Look at that. Look at these motherfuckers. That's it. That's, you know what? It's zombie preparedness educators, zombie preparedness poster, zombie preparedness graphic novel. And this is the CDC.
And this is where the media, and I know they saw it, you should be questioning them about that. Why do you have this on your website? What does this mean? Nobody's questioning it.
It's
if
a
we
perception.
Question, we'll get arrested.
Yeah. It's the perception. You want to, the way this works is, you said, fear. People are so scared, they're fearing. And this guy, Dave Anthony, he's fucking full of fear because he's so fucking bought and sold. It's disgusting. And all these fucking people are just so easily manipulated. They're so easily controlled. They're so easily contorted and directed and guided in these directions. Images, branding, talking points, narratives, slam. And they're not giving up. These motherfuckers have a serious agenda happening. They want to make sure that you're not just going to get one, you're going to get 2 jabs. After your second jab, you're going to need a third. After your third, you're going to need a fourth. After your fourth, you're going to need the fifth. After this is all said and done, there are going to fucking be people out there, sadly, that'll have 5 of these fucking things. They'll be barely able to walk, barely able to talk, completely sterile, completely infertile, completely disarranged and scared. They will absolutely fucking look like zombies. They will look like zombies. What you're seeing is the future of those that are complying. You must understand these very, very, very obvious images, these very obvious direction. What you're seeing, this is what happens with when Hillary points at Russia, when whoever they point at China, they use the excuse, oh, it's them, they're the fucking assholes, oh, they're the idiots. It's not us, we never did anything wrong, right? This is what they're doing now. They're the ones that are going to be this. If you truly believe in your mind and your heart and your soul that these people, and if you look at the CDC, most of them from the top brass down come from big pharma. They come from big hospital. They come from big insurance. These are the same people that are pushing this constantly. The doctors out there, the greatest thing I tell people this when it comes to what's happening: indemnification. Being completely indemnified. If you are a doctor and you're thinking, how can I make money and not be liable in any way, shape, or form? What do I need to do? And all of a sudden, Santa comes down the chimney and gives you this fucking amazing scam and says you can inject, and where are these people going to go when they're hurting? Where are these people going to go when problems start happening? Where are these people going to go to get life insurance, to get health insurance, to get, when things start getting bad? Where are they going to go? To their doctor. They're going to go to their insurance company. They're going to pay up the butt. This is a fucking extremely very well very well thought out process. I am in awe. Cheryl, CV, everybody that's watching that pays attention, I am completely in awe in what these people are doing. It's fucking impressive. As sickly and horrific and heinous these people are, what a magnificent plan. What a magnificent way to control the masses. And I'm watching right now that the CDC is using the word zombie in relation to what's going on around us right now. That's been happening for over a year. What the fuck?
I tell people that they're like, you crazy. I said, you can go look at it for yourself. Just go to the website. They don't go. And my thing is the forgotten people, the homeless. I haven't heard an outbreak of COVID in that community. Never. Since this has been going on. You would think they would catch it. Don't you have to be clean?
Yes. No. So I posted on my Facebook, and I do it a lot. It's called Invisible People. And it shows how they're everywhere, and they herd, and they live very close to each other, and they come together, and they shower together, and they do these things, and they prepare together. But I got to tell you right now, if anybody has a great immunity system, if anybody's fighting anything with their immunity system, if anybody has an immune system that is fucking rock solid, I will guarantee you it's most of them. I will guarantee you. Because the simple fact is we do, as a species, need to be exposed to the germs. If we don't, our body gets weaker. If we don't, our bodies become meek. They become much more susceptible to other diseases. The thing is those that are in the crowds, those that are sharing, I'm not talking everybody should tongue each other, I'm not saying that, right? But you know what I'm talking about, right? So, hey, buddy, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. No, what I'm simply saying is that's just our species. That's the way we survive. That's the way we've evolved. If we continue to use these antibiotics as soon as somebody gets a sniffle, if we continue to use these vaccines, these flu shots, as soon as somebody has a little owie or something, you have to let the body fight. You have to let it go through its process as far as you can fucking push it. Because guess what? 95 times out of 100, it's gonna win. It's gonna win. And the thing is we're creating a weaker species. And guess what industry would love that? Yeah, there you go.
Yep. I said we shouldn't even be wearing this mask. I told my mom last night. I said, you can catch bacterial pneumonia from these things, and it affects your teeth too.
Yep, mask
if you're wearing it constantly.
There's a lot of information. I have a shared document that I share with a lot of really close people that I am with, and even those that are against, kind of where I'm at, and they're compliant, and I'm defiant, of course. Because it's not just in my nature, it's because I know how to analytically think. I know how to critically think, And this mask thing, somebody just did a mask. Let me see if I got it here. It was just done some research on it was done very well. And I've got information on Fossey that's just horrific because the guy's such a piece of shit. Let me see here. Hold on. There it is right here. Let me just bring this up real fast. I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if you can see this, Cheryl, but it's right here. Oh, Gateway Pundit. It's the Gateway Pundit. It shows Stanford study results. Face masks are ineffective to block transmission of COVID-19 and actually can cause health deterioration and a premature death. Of course they can. These things are not made to be wearing around playing fucking basketball or football or anything or coaching, right? And it shows a picture. It shows a picture of Fosse. I got it up on the screen right now with like 1,000 masks.
Well, I don't see that one. You got the zombie one on the YouTube page.
Yeah, I put it up there. That was a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I put it up there. I definitely put it up there. So yeah, these are just nonsense. I mean, and if you go through this, it just clearly shows that this has been ridiculous from the get-go. And there's so much more information that I provided in the past, which a lot of people need to understand. And I've done this for a while. Like I said, I've been working on this for a long time. The questions, the red flags, and just the like, huh? You know, the like, what? Started coming into my head like, wait a second. So the same people that have killed opioid, baby Johnson & Johnson, EpiPens, drugs for like $2,000 a pill, killed people with vaccines in the past. These people actually like care all of a sudden, give a shit. Yeah, that was like, I'm like, I don't think so. So I started to, do my research. But the one thing I wanted to point out that I think is very, very important. Just give me a second. I'm just getting to it. I gotta go to my pictures. I got some good pictures. See all photos. There's the fam. Give me a second.
Did you see that they're going to bring out they tested an oral vaccine, where you can take it orally?
Of course you can.
That'll be coming out soon.
All right. Yeah, so in the very beginning of this, just to let you all know, and I think it's important that we kind of rehash a little bit, because in the very beginning of this, right, Anthony Fauci came out like immediately and he said the virus, COVID-19, was 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu, and he was stern about that. But basically what happened is there were some people that said, wait a second, really? So a guy named Ronald B. Brown, he was like a virologist or some scientist or something like that, he did a study, and he proved in a Cambridge peer-reviewed study that has been very well documented, and I'm bringing it up right now, that Anthony Fauci and his and what he said on that day was a complete and total lie. That was a complete and total, absolute lie, and it hasn't been, and it never has been.
No, it's the wizards working it.
Yeah, it's the wizard, Mr. Wizard. But the thing is, nobody's gone after this or proven it wrong. Ronald B. Brown's study has never been debunked. It's never been challenged. They don't want any attention to go to this study because it clearly and absolutely indicates that one of the most detrimental lies to this country and probably across the world was when that guy came out and said that. When that fucking salesman for Big Pharma came out and said that, right? And then, and the thing is, and I send this to people and I give it to people and I try to let them know what's going on. I'm giving them the research. But then you look at his background of Fauci, it's terrible. The guy, his background is just so fucking bad. It's just, oh my God. But the biggest
diabolical scientist.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, if you were able to fucking, what I see is like, you ever see what was that movie Frankenstein with the, and you have your little sidekick guy with the hunchback, right? That would be Frankenstein, his little hunchback,
Isn't that Igor?
Igor, right? Igor. What was the black and white with Gene Wilder? What the fuck movie? Young Frankenstein, right? Yeah, you would have Gene Wilder, and I forgot the guy's name with the big eyeballs, but I would have I think it would be.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Bill
Man,
Gates. It was like,
crack it up.
yeah, Bill Gates would be like the Dr. Frankenstein guy, right? And then you'd have Igor of Fosse, right? And these guys are just parading around. And there's another thing that people don't realize that's still happening to this day, and it's the PCR test. The RT-PCR test, according to...
Who mysteriously died.
Yeah, no, well, the RT-PCR test is the polymerase chain reaction test, which is created by a Nobel Prize winner, Carrie Mullins, who haphazardly died just before the shit started in August of 2019.
He couldn't stand Fauci.
Oh, he was like, he was target number one for the Fosse team. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. So this PCR test, what a lot of people don't understand is during an infection, right? Or during hold on, I've got it right here, and I'm bringing it up right now. It's on the screen. It's not very big. I need to make it bigger. Hang on.
That thing can't even detect a common cold. That test.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I don't know how people are being. That's why you have them false negatives. They negative, and they actually positive.
False positives and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So what a lot of people don't understand about this test, which is really interesting, is because it's right here, and it's on the yourgenome.org, which is very highly respected amongst the virologists and other scientists, pathologists and other people. They go here for a lot of information. And something that I found that I actually found myself was, and it's right here. Let me see here. Need to encode possible. Give me just a moment. No, it's just some pathogens. So this is about research. I think it's one more down. Enzymes. Hang on. DNA, gene. And it states in this section, infectious agent that causes disease or illness to its host, usually a bacteria, virus, or parasite. So, an infectious agent that causes disease or illness to its host, usually a bacteria, virus, or parasite. So, what people also don't understand is that when your immunity system goes into overdrive, depending on the cycles of how they test, you can also pop positive, and it doesn't have to be just a virus. It can be a parasite that's causing your body to kick into overdrive to protect itself, which raises your immunity system. A bacteria could also do the same thing to raise your immunity system. The virus, of course, but it doesn't clearly isolate. The PCR test has never been created to go after an isolated type of virus. An isolated type of virus. So what people don't understand is, and that's the reason why they're using this, for the numbers. Because if you have an infection, that's causing your immunity system to go off the charts, which all it takes is a small infection, and all of a sudden your body just starts to react. It just starts to react. Or if you have a parasite that's in there that's doing something and causing your body to go off the charts, or a virus, and all these things, and boom, you're going to pop positive, right? What people don't realize is that the PCR test does not go after an absolutely isolated virus. It's not created to do that. And the biggest thing that people don't really realize is it's never been isolated. There was an interview I think on Nightline or something like that. What was the lady's name we were trying to research? NBC Nightly News, and she's talking one of the high, like one of the foremost, greatest, top of the notch professional Chinese virologists, and he clearly indicates, and I've got a picture of it, and I can probably play the video, is that they never isolated the virus.
I never did.
They never isolated. It's right here. As a matter of fact, on the show right here. It says, why hasn't the data not been shared? And as he says right there, Dr. Wu Zhenyu, Chinese Center for Disease Control, which is very well associated with Fauci and Gates. He says these exact words. They didn't isolated the virus. He said it like that, but, because I'm just kind of going with the way his, his accent. But he clearly states they didn't isolate the virus. So if they didn't isolate the virus, so what the fuck are we testing for? What are we testing for?
They haven't even seen it under the microscope.
They haven't even seen it. This is so fucking nutty. This is so fucking nutty.
And I heard that several universities that's been studying this coronavirus, they suing, I think, the CDC and the NIH because they want to see the data because they have not found coronavirus under a microscope at all.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you make a vaccine for something you have not seen?
Oh, my God. That's the biggest bingo right there. So if you don't know what the fuck you're going after, it's like going. It's like, you know what? I'm going to take. I try to get these. What are these examples or metaphors or whatever? It's like trying to take a shotgun out to go hunting, right? Mm-hmm. But you
don't have a shell.
But you don't have a shell. You don't have a shell. And there's nothing out, and you're in the desert, right? There's nothing fucking out there. It's like it's like you're out there trying to pick for something. There's nothing out there, right? But you're telling everybody, no, there's something out there. That mirage, I see the mirage. It's there. Look, I can see it, and everybody fucking believes you, right? And it's just the marketing and the branding and the fucking marketing and the advertising. And all these people are being so easily fucking manipulated. It's just, sure, I mean, what were we talking about 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago? We were talking about people being manipulated by mainstream media. Remember? That was like that was always our topic. That was always our topic. 4 or 5 years ago, we were talking about people being manipulated by mainstream media and big industries, banks, coal, oil, military industrial, all of them. And then, like I said, all of a sudden, big pharma and big hospital and big insurance, they're just we trust them. All of a sudden they get this big fucking pass, right? And we even brought those guys up. Steve used to bring up the opioid shit all the time, like nonstop. And then everybody talked about it. Dave talked about it. Everybody. You know what's getting me is Dave fucking is all in on this right now. I don't get it. Independent outside, I mean, I don't want to throw that guy under the bus or nothing, but he told me, man, me and my wife went through this. I'm like, bro, it's not. Okay. Look, if you're old and you're not in good health, right, and maybe you just haven't had your flu shots, and you go through this, it's probably not going to be good. It's probably not going to be good for anybody to get whatever fucking flu. Coronaviruses are not things to fuck with. This is a known fact. There are 4 of them out there, right? That have been out. There's like 7 kind of, but there's 4 that are very well known. But the thing is these things are rough. It's a rough fucking flu, right? And I get that. But the way they were treating this in the beginning with these ventilators, and they panicked, I guarantee you, Cheryl, Stevie knows this, they fucking killed people. Cuomo fucking
like
killed
they
people.
killed my husband. put him on a ventilator because he did not have no breathing problem at all.
Yeah, I meant you mentioned that, but that was what? When was that?
That was in 2019. That's before it came out in last year.
And they put him on a ventilator, and he died.
Yeah, because I believe we saw him the night before, and we went home because he told us, use such and such credit card to pay for my TV in the room, which we used. And, you know, we left that night, and then, you know, you go and you home. Wee hours in the morning, you get this call. He's having a hard time breathing. Everything is going up and down. I'm like, what? He was just fine when I was there. And they said, we're going to have to put him on the ventilator. I am so sorry I let them put him on the ventilator. Because I'm glad that he had that while he was in, before that pandemic came out, because I wasn't in that bed to be able to spend time with him in the hospital for a month.
Wow.
Because I'm really pissed that they're not allowing loved ones to come in the hospital with people, because that you can do anything to anybody.
And that's what they've been doing. They've been taking advantage of that. Then they said, well,
Yep.
we can't allow no family members back here. And then
even in the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
And even before all this, nursing homes were notorious for like shady practices and
Yep.
hurting the people that live there.
Yep.
Hiring people that were basically maniacs. I don't want to say like everybody that works there is. I mean, there's a lot of good people that work there, but I mean, you hear the stories of people in the nursing homes where they're, when nobody's looking, they're beating the residents, or they're drugging them, or they get mistreated all the time. They're abused. Yes, they're abused all the time. And then now they say, well, not only do we have a track record of abusing the elderly that live here and, pay everything, but now you can't come in and check on them. So,
you got to make an appointment. You have to make an appointment. And then when you do get your appointment and go to, you look through plexiglass. You're not even able to hug them, hold them. It's sad. It's really sad. People in those kind of homes, they want their loved ones. They want to see them, hold them, hug them, and whatever. And they can't do that. And they get depressed. I was working with a coworker at the post office. Her mom is in a nursing home. I think it was around the holidays, Christmas. And she was crying because she wanted to see her, but she couldn't. She had to make an appointment.
I mean, human interaction and touch is a necessity. I mean, when you don't get that, I mean, look at they've done all kinds of studies on solitary confinement. And what are you asking people to do? A lot of cases, some people are alone in their houses or their apartments for a year now, a year of basically solitary confinement that we were putting everybody in. Or you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're locked up with, a bunch of people and that'll make you stir crazy, or you're locked up with an abuser. I mean, 1 in 4 women get abused. So, I mean, 1 in 4 women are locked up with abusers. So, I mean, like, this is a
children,
fucked up situation.
They should have been the kids should have been in school, because that's like in Chicago, little girl was online virtually doing class, and her brother came up there and literally raped her on live video.
My God.
Yes, and he's locked up, and that was in Chicago. I said, these kids, they know kids, their only real meal is at school, a lot of them. And they got them locked down. They can't go nowhere. You couldn't even go to the playground. They was arresting people that was in the park with the kids.
They took down the basketball hoops here.
They
took the basketball hoops down.
Off.
They even took out the playground. They fully took out the entire playground. The only thing that's left there now is they put the basketball hoops back up. The playground is still missing. I mean, it's so depressing just to even drive by and look at it. I'm like, well, kids, have fun staring at an open field. What the fuck? I mean, like, they can't even go out and play by themselves anymore. I mean, they're starved of absolutely every necessity that they need. And what do you think happens when children grow up and they don't have other children to play with? They don't
Well, a
learn
lot
the
of
social skills. They don't learn any of that. They don't get a network of friends. They're isolated. They're cut off. And even when they're reintroduced back with everybody else, they don't know how to be with other people. And a
well,
lot
a
of
lot of
adults
them
are
they
getting that way
committed.
too. I'm starting to feel that way. I'm like, I don't even know how to be
Mm.
around people anymore.
I know a lot of them kids have committed suicide.
Oh, I know. It's awful. I've seen
It
that
is.
before working in the ICU where this, kids, I mean, I remember a 12-year-old that shot himself, and it's just like, what, how? I mean, like, what, how could this happen? How could this happen? What could be so bad? But then it's just like, well, all these kids are going through it. They're all cut off from everybody else. It's so lonely. I can't even
And but you
imagine what
say
it must be like for a kid right now.
the kids is immune immune from this virus. They can't spread it. But why do you shut the school down? I don't know why they shut the school down. The school didn't have an outbreak at all.
Yep.
At all. Not in Philadelphia, I know of.
Yeah, I mean, the kids are getting the
I
brunt
worry
end of
about
this, and
the
they don't have
children.
they don't have the experience or the wisdom of
Mm,
really knowing about the government, what it does to people. And they're trying to navigate through, I mean, especially teenagers, like, you're trying to navigate the hellscape that is being a teenager, and on top of that, you're dealing with a pandemic. I mean, that's
yep.
like throwing lighter fluid onto a wildfire. I mean, that's just, I mean, they can't go to prom. They can't, go to graduation. They can't go out and hang out with other kids. They can't go through like the normal trials of being, of growing and going through those experiences and learning from it so you can become a fully, experienced adult. And they no, instead they're just, stuck at home with their parents, and hopefully they're good parents. Uh, Hopefully they're around. And if not, well, what's that mean? If their parents are essential workers, then you've got a kid that doesn't get to go to school, that doesn't get to go out, and they've been locked up in the house all this time. What do you think's going to happen to a kid like that? Or a kid that's stuck with somebody that has, drug addicts as parents, or abusers as parents? I mean, it's just the amount of things, and they have no way to defend themselves. No way
Nope.
whatsoever. It's not like I can just move out. I'll just go get a job. Nope, they can't do that. They have absolutely no power, and they're being fucked with the most. But that's what they do. They fuck with them when they're young, and do all kinds of things to screw them up when they're young. So that way they make, if you can screw them up when they're young, you can give them you can produce screwed up adults. Traumatize them when they're young, and you can produce screwed up adults that are that are easily fall victim to emotional manipulation. They'll end up in the prison system. They'll end up a number of places where they would prefer people to be, underground, in the ground, in prison, or working, like, because if you go through something like that, chances are you're not going to get into a Harvard or a Yale. Like, it's going to be a lot harder when your parents got evicted and you're homeless when you're 10 years old. It's going to be a lot harder for you to get into those good colleges. So, you know what? There's a future Walmart employee right there. There's a future McDonald's employee right there. Just with that, they're setting us up for this. And they're picking on the most helpless people on the planet. But Bill Gates is no stranger to that, because he loves to experiment on kids in India and Africa, countries in Africa. So,
Yeah. And India's
they
suing
always pick out the vulnerable.
Yeah, because India's suing Bill Gates Foundation for sterilizing 250,000 Indian girls.
Fuck
That's
that
sad.
dude.
For vaccines.
I mean, he wants to be in charge of your health and your body. He wants to be in charge of saving the planet, according to him. He wants to blot out the sun. He wants to be in charge of your electronics. He wants to be in every aspect of your life. He wants to be he wants to control everything. Everything. He's a maniac, and his wife too. There are two peas in a pod. Now, that's a married couple. I would say you are fucking perfect for each other, because they are both batshit fucking psychopaths. Perfect for each other.
I can't stand them.
God, I mean, I
Cannot
thought
stand.
Bill was bad. And then I heard Melinda, well, if we save the children, won't these women just keep breeding? I mean, I'm like, you realize there's a camera on you right now, you dumb bitch. Like, what are you doing? You can't just say that. But they do. And nobody questioned it. All these people around her, nobody said anything like, hey, Melinda, you might want to cut it out on the eugenics right now. Like, X-nay on the killing children A, like, what the fuck? No, everybody like acted like that was a normal statement to make about, I don't know, should we just let the kids die? Should we just let the kids die?
I'm just getting pissed off. They trying to push black folks to get this vaccine. Oh, the black community get it.
I've got a lot on that too. There's I got several pictures in regards to, and they make it appear like they're pushing, like there's not enough, and they won't allow them they won't allow African Americans to get the vaccine. They're making it appear like it's like it's a very no. What it is it's called the takeaway when it comes to sales. So if you make it appear like they're not getting it, then they'll want it more. So what they put out, what they put out there is they put out, and the CDC did it, the NIH did it, a fucking NPR, Associated Press. I don't fucking know why people watch these. PBS especially is terrible right now. CNN, MSNBC, you name it, Fox, all of them. They're putting out these ads, right? These advertisements, in a sense, that are saying simply, other people are getting it, you're not, because they don't want you to get it. So what does that do? It gives them that feeling like, oh, what? You're not going to let me have that? Well, I'm going to go get it. If all the white people can get it, I can get it. If all the, and this is the thinking, because they know how to manipulate people. It's the takeaway. If you dangle the carrot in front of them and then take it away, then they're like, "Where's my carrot?" And it's a very simple and very well known practice in the sales industry. If you're a car salesman, I'll tell you, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's happening. It happened. They went after the Native Americans with it. They went after, of course, African Americans with it. They fucking slammed the Hispanics with that narrative. No, they're not going to let you guys have it because others are getting it. Others, which they meant, the white people. But that actually really fucking happened. They were actually targeting these people with the fucking takeaway sales pitch. And it is so heinously orchestrated. Look, the thing that I really need to get out to a lot of people right now that just don't, maybe if you're new or if you've ever heard this before, but you're being fucking played like a kazoo. Like a kazoo. There are so many people out there that are being so easily fooled and tricked. And Mark Twain kind of paraphrased this or brought this to a lot of people's attention, a while ago, decades and decades ago. He said, it is harder to prove to somebody that they've been fooled than it is to fool them.
Yep.
And that's exactly my fight every fucking day. And my challenge every fucking day with people is that I am trying to prove to them that they've been fooled. And it's so diabolical of them, which is impressive. It's fucking impressive that they continue to put out this propaganda. They continue to put out this hyperbolic nonsense. They continue to press with the divide and conquer. They continue to distract us. Now they're talking about fucking UFOs. They're talking about all this other shit to get you off the fucking beaten path. Because just when you thought you started to think that, hey, maybe they don't really give a fuck and maybe they really are fooling us, all of a sudden, oh, here's UFOs. Oh, here's George Floyd. Oh, here's this. Oh, here's that. Oh, here's something else. Oh, here's this. And it just continues. It's nuts.
They love having distractions. It's always a distraction.
Always a distraction, Cheryl. Always a distraction. It's just nuts.
Because they get ready to do something else behind the scenes. And that's what they did with that cover when Trump got elected. They just went after him every day. Gaslighting. I've never seen so many people hate one man so much. Never, ever in my life.
Right.
Never. And they gaslighted him so well with the Russia investigation and all that stuff, and people just believing it. And they were behind the scenes getting ready to release this virus. Behind the scenes getting ready to release it, and then they put in the fear when they released it.
So I have a picture up. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a picture of. Oh crap! I just lost it. Oh, I gotta go back. Go back.
Well, that's zombie
These are
people.
These are trillionaire shadow government. Okay, Windsors, Rothschilds, Vatican, Rockefellers, the billionaire disciplines: Bloomberg, Gates, Buffett, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Soros, Kissinger, on both sides of the aisle, people, on both sides of the aisle. And the thing is what a lot of people don't really understand is, and I don't mean to say this like,
all of them are some sick son of a bitches.
yeah, they're very
All
sick. They're sick. But the thing that I get from the right, which I don't like to label, or the people that support Trump or support the Republican Party, which I get is probably important right now, and it's always been important to support something. But the thing is they don't see the major players in this, and there's other major players in this group that are from both sides of the aisle that people don't even talk about, right?
I mention them.
Yeah, you do. No, I know you do. And you see their agenda: population control, global digital currency, one world government, right? The formula that caused the problem, COVID-19, I can't breathe, economic crash, right? Fund the reaction, lockdown, riots, lawlessness, media manipulation, mandate solution, cashless system, because that's coming. They're already giving you the scare, and this is going to be huge soon, and people aren't seeing this. But I fucking been following this, God damn it. Cheryl, this is a lot of work. I got to tell you, I don't know if you know this, but I put in a ton of extra effort. I work full time, 40, 50 hours a week. And I'm just saying, I also put in time. I'm not doing this for me. I don't do any of this for me. I'm doing it to save my kids and their kids. I'm doing it to save your kids and your families and the livelihood of others. To show you there are people that are powerful and they're sick, disgusting, heinous, terrible, vile creatures. And they could give a fuck about you, and they're pulling the strings of your supposed public servant 24/7, 365, 7 days a week and twice on fucking Sundays, man. These guys have got their fucking claws around so many people, and it's a claw of money. It's a claw of threats. It's a claw of control. It's a claw of power that has been in our nation's capital for a long, long time. And the thing is right now, Big Pharma, like I said earlier, they're second on the hierarchical list of money and of grabbing their share of that pie. We fork out with our tax dollars an average about $680 billion a year, right? Right now, I think we're at $754 billion that I think has been approved, or it's about to be approved, or it's getting close to being given to the military-industrial complex, the Pentagon, right? And that's why that place was created. But the thing is this is a big piece of pie, and other industries have been trying to get a piece of that pie. The one that's came the closest, right, is always Wall Street, right? It's always big banks. They're always in that mesh. No matter what industry is out there, they get a piece. That's an automatic. But in regards to big pharma, they're second in line. They're right there. They're on the podium. Number one, I would say, is the military-industrial complex. A very close second is big pharma right now. And number three, from what I'm seeing, of course, is oil, big oil, of course, right? Big oil, which has been there for a long time. But what people don't understand is these are the puppeteers. These are
Hello?
what people have a hard time understanding. What do people have a hard time understanding is all these giant players that are out there. Sorry, I pushed my mic off, and I just hit it accidentally. What a lot of U.S. Citizens, the U.S. voting republic, and the world doesn't understand is just how immensely powerful these people are. How they just don't. You can't. I've been at parties in Bel Air. I've been in parties at Beverly Hills. I've worn a tux. I've worn suits and ties and brushed up with some people. I think I was pretty fucked up when it happened, and I don't remember most of it. But I will say this: is I've seen that type of group at these ballrooms and these giant seminars with and these conventions of so many industries trying to get at and what they do, these companies that try to bow down to these people. They will do whatever it takes to get a piece of that pie. They will do whatever they will lie, cheat, and steal to get, and they become compromised, which is really sad. And I see that constantly is how easily people are bought and sold, and it's sad that people have a price. There's a person out there right now that doesn't have a price. There's a person out there that isn't bought and sold. There's a person out there that's fought for the integrity of what he does, and Julian Assange is a great example of that. I know there's a lot of stories, this, that, and the other thing about Julian Assange, but let's just say this. Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, but is it Wikipedia? What?
You mean WikiLeaks?
Yeah, well, Wikipedia shows that can be edited all the time, right? That can be moved around. But when WikiLeaks comes out, that's a very threatening website. It's a very threatening source and piece of data and information. And the thing that I always stress in regards to the whistleblowers is who's going to protect your anonymity? Who's that person that would risk, years in jail of subjugation? Who would, of being oppressed? Who would risk that? And it's hard to say. I don't know if I could be. I don't think I. Trust me, I'm a big, strong motherfucker. Good luck dealing with me. But I don't think I have, and I'll admit it. I don't have that kind of fervor. I don't have that kind of resilience, right? I don't think I can be able to sit and do that kind of thing to protect you. And I know there's a lot of people that can't admit that. But when you have people out there that want to provide information, want to whistleblow, want to just give what they can, because in their minds or in their hearts or their souls or deep inside their core, they're like, this just isn't right. And all of a sudden a switch goes off and they go, you know what? Fuck this place. Fuck these people. They're all a bunch of greedy bastards. Here's the fucking thumb drive and everything that's happening right now. If there's any fucking source we could use that we know that will hold keep us anonymous, keep us not indemnified, but keep us help to keep our anonymity and our privacy, and to make sure that we're protected. That one person is not with us right now, and it couldn't have been a better moment. It couldn't have been a better moment than what was it, 2019, when they grabbed him and they threw him in a van?
Yep.
Right?
Was horrible.
That was horrible. 2 years ago, just on the 11th. And once you and this is the way it goes. This is a great. This is very strategic process. Take away the guy that can prove that the PCR tests are crap. Get rid of the people and make them look like fools. The people that are saying, block, censor everybody. Get rid of the person that people will go to with their information in case they wanted to bring anything forth in regards to this scamdemic or this plandemic or this crap that we're going through right now. Once you have all those things in place, according to the Rothschild, the Vatican, Rockefeller, Windsor, Bloomberg, Gates, Buffett, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Soros, Kissinger, right? Once you have all these people, and there's more, Klaus Schwab, and there's so many other fucking players in this. Those are just a few. That's like half of them that I have posted up here. But once you take those elements out that could actually expose you, it's fucking it's go time, man. These motherfuckers are just laughing. They're hysterical like Kamala Harris is all the time. I know I'm gonna be the president. She just dictates the narcissism and the insanity that exists. When I watch that woman talk and when I watch her move around and what she says, she's so enthralled with the evil that's happening that she enjoys it. She's a fucking lunatic.
And you can't forget, they all involve with pedophilia too. Human trafficking.
Oh yeah. That is another topic that definitely needs to be talked about. Right? All of a sudden Gasline's not. Where the fuck is she? Has anybody ever
she's
seen
locked up, and I heard she's very arrogant.
But has anybody ever seen her locked up in jail?
No, they showed a mugshot one time. That's about it.
Yeah.
They showed the mugshot?
I saw something. A mugshot of her.
So what used to happen, I would say about 30 or 40 years ago, is reporters that had integrity, that had a backbone, that had, vision, or that were reliable and transparent and decent, which has gone. That's no longer exists. They used to be able to go in and have phone calls with these prisoners. They used to be able to go in and interview these fucking people. They would actually be able to talk to these prisoners and get information and video them and watch them and report on them. This doesn't happen.
They don't do that no more.
They don't do none of that, Cheryl. They don't do none of that no more. There's, like you guys were talking about the hospitals. I have been, since this has started, and I will drive by a parking lot of our major hospitals in West Virginia, which a lot of people have in all over the country. And they say, oh, we're filled to capacity. There's a fucking 1,000 people in here and a bazillion, and we just can't. And there's like 3 cars in the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, it's fucking empty.
And
They
there's
furloughed doctors and nurses. And it was so high, the pandemic.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I said the pandemic, they had so many patients. Why would you furlough doctors and other staff? It was so busy. They did that. I've seen live video all over, and now everyone says the hospital parking lots are empty. Even here, Temple is a big time hospital here.
Yeah, my brother had a problem with an abscess, but I guess they were treating like 1,000 other people, but they couldn't take care of him, and but he got over it. But it was like, wait, there's nothing here.
No, he didn't get over it.
What?
The doctor saw how critical he was. They said.
Oh yeah. I don't remember the whole thing.
So what happened was his brother had some kind of infection, and it kept getting worse, and it kept getting worse, and he had this massive, like, infection and it almost killed him. And he kept going to the doctor. It was like, look, I kept going to the hospital, and they said, no, we got to keep beds open for COVID patients. Kept sending him home, and then finally, the last doctor they saw said, oh my God, you should have been in the hospital weeks ago, and rushed him in for emergency surgery because he nearly died. So they could keep beds open for a potential other patient, because you know, they don't make money. They don't make money off of his infection. They make money off of COVID patients. They got to keep those beds open so they can make that money.
And I believe your primary physicians, they get some extra money if they get their patient to take that COVID vaccine too.
Oh yeah, they do.
It's sick. It's just sick. And they ain't gonna ever solve this drug problem, because when Trump said he wanted to take the troops out of Afghanistan, the Republicans and Democrats, oh no, that'll hurt their bottom dollar, because all that stuff coming from the poppy fields is coming over here to keep pushing that heroin.
Oh, yeah. Is that when they were killing people with opiates? You know, was that for our health and safety too?
Yep, and Biden said he want to remove them. They going against him about that too. He want to remove some troops of Afghanistan, but I think he's gonna move them somewhere else, to like Syria or something.
Oh well, there's a new thing in was it Mozambique now?
Well, we always
they're
get over
amping up
there.
wars in southern African countries. So
them wars were going on since the Obama administration. He started 7 more wars when he got in there, and they were all in African countries. Somalia, all of African countries. Yep.
The only way that they'll pull out forces from Afghanistan and Iraq is when they're done, when they've depleted all their resources, or they got a better business opportunity somewhere else, some other country that they can steal from. And it looks like that's what they're doing.
Well, the African countries are very rich.
Oh yeah,
that's why China's
rich.
over there now. But they have all kind of mineral ores and all kind of coral and all that stuff.
And they
that's
need
why
it for
China
this.
Over there now.
They need it for this technology revolution that they're talking about. This is what the economic forum, it comes back around to the economic forum. Everything always comes back to that. You know, they're pushing all this big tech stuff. And so they need the resources for the big tech stuff. So, you know, they got to go in and colonize, you know, all these, you know, Southern African, or it doesn't really matter, any country. So yeah, that's what they're doing now. And they'll say that they need democracy, or that there's terrorists, or whatever bullshit excuse. It doesn't even have to, you know, be believable. They'll still do it anyway.
So when you think about it, the only countries they can't go invade is China, North Korea, Japan, Russia, and Iran.
Yeah. Oh God, man, they are itching for Iran. Like they have had like they've been drooling over Iran since like the 50s or 60s, whenever it is that they nationalized their oil supply. Man, they have had a hard on for war with Iran ever since then. Like they wish. I mean, that's why pretty much we've invaded every country surrounding them. I mean, if you look at our bases on a map, and it's every country surrounding Iran, and we've got them surrounded.
And we have them surrounded, but we cannot fight no war against them. You see, Biden starting up something with the Ukraine, so the Ukrainians are at the Russian border, and Russia got a lot of military outside around that border. And they turned our U.S. ships back in that Black Sea, too. Just recently. Our military cannot handle that. They can't. They cannot.
I mean,
they cannot.
It's bloated.
And the U.S. sell weapons to Ukraine. They weapons that are duds. They can't even fight in the war. So can you imagine what we have here?
It's going to be out of control. Here's the thing that people don't talk about is why even. Is your mic on? I got that little echo. Sorry about that. So, but why is this even happening? What people don't realize is the 99% of us want to just get along. We don't care about the borders. We don't care about, I would love for other cultures of Mexico and Canada and Brazil and wherever, and, Brazil would be cool. And all over the world, just to be able to fly freely and go hang out and learn their cultures and hang out with each other, and eat their food and watch their ceremonies and their dances and have fun and party and drink their wines and liquors and have a good time, smoke their pot, whatever the fuck. But there's not, but these people at the top, are not going to let that happen. They're not going to let us come together. Their goal is
to control all of us. That's their agenda.
Absolutely.
I'm going to control all of us. And I just saw released yesterday, Black Lives Matter global organization. I'm like, when that name come up? And Black Lives Matter isn't global. They are trying to globalize and control all of us. All of us.
Oh, they were compromised. You know this. Look, I had my land stolen from me, right? But I wasn't stolen from a land. There's a big difference, right? Which is pretty fucking heinous. The thing is that's not even in the equation anymore. Now it's just white against black, right? And now it's what was that thing I was showing you earlier on my Facebook? Where the fuck is that? Is they want people, right? So if and I've got a this is interesting. This is interesting. Is now it's Give me a moment. I'm going to get to it. It's just freaking ridiculous. Right here. It's things white people have to let go. Right.
Oh,
Sure.
people got
Right.
someone got offended on that
Right.
on Facebook.
Yeah. So look. Now I can't listen to Billy Joel. Is that am I too white if I listen to Billy Joel? Right. Things that people with in order to be a better accomplice. Right. Comfort. You have to let go of the comfort of being a white person. You can't guaranteed physical safety, or at times you can't be guaranteed physical safety. Control over other people and land. Where the fuck is this? This is on Fox. This is on Fox of a study. I don't know if he's going after what Lou Dobbs, what whoever's doing this, and this is where they want you to think relationships with other white people. Oh, you can't. I can't have a relationship. I'm half white. I can't hang out with white people now. What the fuck, right? Accepting some jobs and promotions because I am kind of white. I can't get a particular job. I mean, this has gotten crazy, and this to me is part of that distraction from
Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
You know what it is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, look, you can't have equality. If you have equality, if you stand up and say that racism is bad, then you're going to be physically unsafe, that you're going to have to miss out on promotions, that you're going to have to, sacrifice your relationships and your comfort. So, you better just go along with the system, go along with the racism, because if not, you're going to have to, your whole way of life is going to change, and you're going to have something taken away from you if you, don't just let it happen. Just let it happen. That's exactly, because this is put out by Fox News. I mean, come on. They're scaring their, 80-year-old base into saying, oh my gosh, if I can't stand up to this.
I don't know if they were trying to downgrade that or what, but for that to even come up, for those topics, those narratives, those terms, and those words to be presented alone is nonsensical. It's insanity. What's happening now, Cheryl, and you know this, and everybody that's hopefully watching, I'm going to post this, of course, on my other. I post my show or my channel, whatever the fuck this is, and I don't care about subscribers. Just get my information somewhere if you can. Yellow's been in, by the way. It's almost like they hate us. Right. No, because here's what's driving me nuts is we're all playing into it. It's like, turn off the fucking TV, for God's sakes. YouTube has already been censored and banned. What you're getting off of YouTube probably isn't what you should be watching anymore. Sadly, I'm on YouTube, or bootube. But the thing is there are people out there like myself, like Cheryl, like Stevie, like Steven from Slow News Day, like Yelbro, like everybody out there, like DJ L7, right? Like Combo Couch, like Nico House, like a lot of people that are out there that are actually bringing this stuff up. Maybe they're not as aggressive as I am, or maybe they're not as me. God, how would you? Let me just say this. I put out information out there that is affecting us all, and if you can't put that out there, then you should not be a journalist. You should not even know what the fucking J word means. If you're not putting stuff out there that isn't affecting the masses and only negatively, positively, or in some way, shape, or form, then you shouldn't be considered a journalist. You should not be considered a journalist. You should not be considered anybody that has integrity or has a backbone or clarity or courage, or you're analytically thinking or critically thinking, or you give a shit, bottom line. So when I'm putting stuff out there, it's because I'm questioning it all. I have to question it all. I want to know how the universe spins. But I'm telling you right now, I'm okay if I don't know everything. I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to make up some theism or create some false idol to connect nothing to something, to another nothing. I'm okay with not knowing all the answers. And I hope others out there will help connect the dots for me or help connect the dots with me. And that has always been my goal in my content, is that I want to make sure that whatever I get out there, you can look at it and go, what? Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? And if you ask me or if you comment or whatever, I'll give you where I got that source. I'll give you where I got that information. I will hand over all the information I have to help you understand why I have that perspective, why I have that a narrative or talking point or whatever I'm doing that fucking CNN does, whatever. So, but the thing is they don't. They won't question the authorities more than once. They won't have a question or a back question or a follow-up question and another follow-up question to their answer. That never fucking happens. If you're on my content, my show, my channel, I'm going to ask you that question, right? Because I want to know where you're at and where you're going and what you're doing. Because if you're a major player in the system, or you want to be a major player in the system, then I want to know. And I think everybody that you are trying to pander to, you're trying to advertise to, you're trying to sell, which is the bottom line, you're trying to sell them. If you're a candidate or you're a person running for something, you need to give them that information. And like my grandfather always said, you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you sit in a corner, you're powerless. Because knowledge alone does not equal power. Properly applied knowledge equals power. Because if you take the knowledge that you have and apply it properly, you'll have power. And the people that are doing it right now to us are those oligarchs, are the fucking people I brought up earlier. They have all this power, they have all this knowledge, right? And it's mostly advertising knowledge, it's mostly marketing knowledge, it's mostly branding knowledge, it's mostly how to control the masses and with the media and all the information and the control they have. They know how to use that power. What we need to do is do the same thing. We need to fight fire with fire. And I see that. Frank Analysis is doing that right now. And so many others. Mike Yeager's doing that right now. Misty is doing that right now. Robbie Yeager is doing that right now. Right? Definitely Ryan Christian, which I know you watch, Cheryl.
Yep.
Great job. And he gets fucking sent. You know, I always use this Air Force term, or I don't know if it's kamikaze, but if you're not getting close to the target, you're not getting flak, which means if you're not getting close to the target, you're not getting surface-to-air missiles or gunfire, right? And this guy gets it constantly because he's so close to the target. I have less than 400 fucking subscribers. I've been on for like 5 years, right? For some reason, I've only had 400 fucking subscribers. It's just for some reason, okay. I always tell everybody don't subscribe. But I have a lot of views though. And I want people to share my information. I don't give a fuck about Super Chat. I can give a fuck about that. You know, I know Jimmy Dore lives off Super Chat. I know Graham Elwood lives off Super Chat. I know a lot of people live off Super Chat, but I don't. Kyle Kolinsky, Mike Figueroa, Tim Black, and a bunch of others live off fucking, Shapiro. All these fucking people, they live off Super Chat. I don't. I just want to make sure that everybody that watches or pays attention to any of the information that I have, and Stevie's the same way, will just share the content. That's all. Just listen, learn, argue, understand, critically think, analyze, and do your own due diligence. Chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Go through the information and make sure that your decisions, your actions, and everything you do moving forward are smart. Just simple. It's just you're smart. You're smarter because you're and I'll listen to Tim Poll. I'll listen to Anomaly. I'll listen to a lot of other people. I'll listen to who is that guy? Higher. There's a bunch of them out there on the right, the left, the back, the down, all over, and I will listen to whoever because I want to see and get a different perspective on everything, and it's up to me as an adult, right? Kind of, not always, kind of, and I'm not a super adult. I know that I still got a lot to learn. It's up to me to sift through all of that information, and at that point I'll make a decision on what I believe based on what I've obtained and what I research to present my information. And I think if we all do that, I think we'll be fine. But if we keep listening to the status quo narrative and status quo with fucking Sheridan, we're screwed. We're screwed. We've got to get away. We've got to get away, and Stevie knows this. We've got to get away from just one side. We've got to listen to the other side. I am for Second Amendment rights. I don't care if you have a fucking tank parked in your front yard. I just want to make sure you're not a crazy fucking idiot and you know how to operate the goddamn thing, because I'd like to drive it, right? I want you to have your Fourth Amendment rights. I want your privacy and your security and people not to be able to break into your information and use your information like they're doing now. And I for damn sure want to make sure you have your First Amendment rights, and all your other rights, and every amendment that's out there. The thing is those things are being chipped away. They're being wilted away right in front of our faces, right in front of us. We're witnessing right now, from what I can see and tell, is a total and absolute tyrannical, draconian takeover of the 99% at a pace I've never witnessed. And Cheryl, you and I are close to the same age, and what we're witnessing, I don't even have words for it. I mean, what do you? I'm not going to throw like a curveball at you, but is this just fucking nuts? I mean, is this just fucking nuts?
And what I'm worried about is the Democrats trying to pack the court. So that means it'll be one party rule, and that's the Democrats. And I don't want that to happen.
They're taking it over. They're doing it good.
Yep.
Tell me, who the hell believes that Joe, the puppet, zombie, dementia, about to fucking pretty much kill over Biden, right? Pedophile, whatever the fuck, weirdo, got more votes than Obama. Who the fuck, if you believe that?
Oh, people really believe it. I'm telling them, I think Trump actually won that election. They won by those cheating with those ballots.
Oh, yeah.
They won by cheating with those ballots. Arizona right now, the Senate and the Senate Republicans in Arizona, they won through the Supreme Court there, the subpoena. They're doing a whole recount because they want to make sure that Biden actually won Arizona. If he won or not. They don't believe he won.
God, it's just.
I mean, the Supreme Court is compromised.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes.
Yeah, because when they didn't want to hear the cases about what Trump was saying, Trump said the election was a fraud, and it was, and he never conceded. Now, I'm glad he didn't concede, because he did win. He did win. Because I watched that election night, I said, oh, God, the map is turning red. And next thing, they're holding off counting. I'm like, they never did that before. And all of a sudden, these mysterious ballots come in the wee hours of the morning. And then Biden got this big one, especially up here in Pennsylvania. We known for corruption up here voting. And now we got another election coming up soon. They talking about they're going to still have ballots. Now they're saying, and I hate when Democrats do this, the Republican states got laws now where you got to have an ID for the mail-in ballots and to go vote. Oh, the black people, this is suppressing their vote.
No, it's not.
To me, I take insult to that. Black folks have IDs. We have to cash checks. We have to show ID everywhere.
Cheryl, you don't. Hawaiians don't either. Hawaiians don't have ID. You don't have ID. Hispanics don't have ID. You know what I mean? What the fuck?
No, but they use blacks. They just always say it's suppressing the black vote. That's why I say like you said, they're trying to divide the country by race.
Yeah, what you're saying is it's very simple. Not to interrupt you, but is they're portraying it's the narrative to get a reaction, right?
Yeah.
And the reaction should be, what are you, fucking stupid? I got a fucking ID. What are you, stupid? That should be the reaction.
But a lot of we always were taught to vote Democratic. They help us. And they were going along with this. Even some black independent news reporters on here be talking about, oh, they're suppressing the black vote. And they get in debates with other blacks that say, no, they're not. We have to show ID everywhere. Basically.
Yeah, I mean.
How do you register to vote? How do you register to vote? You have to prove that you are who you are. You have to, in a sense, have when you register to vote online, you have to have your social security number, your driver's license, and all that information. Am I correct? Yes. So who the fuck doesn't?
That's what I'm saying. But they always use black folks. They were the Dixiecrats. They didn't want to keep us in slavery, so they never changed, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they only use black people as a narrative thing. Like they do nothing for the community whatsoever. But if it's something that they don't want, then they'll say, well, this hurts black people. We can't do it. Well, okay. Yeah. So then, what's your solution? But the whole thing with that is my big problem is they're focusing on the wrong end of the corruption. They're acting like there's all these people out there that are going out and voting for like 10, 20 times. And that enough people are doing it to where it's completely swaying the outcome of the election. When that's not it. We know that the majority of the rigging and the fraud is coming from the top. They're the ones with the hacking the voting machines. They're the ones that are out there gerrymandering and funneling all this, dark money into hack politicians. They're the ones doing all that. And you think that it's some, Jim Bob out in the middle of nowhere that's going and voting for Trump twice? Like that's the guy that's disrupting democracy? Yeah.
Because
it's a way to shut the blame off themselves. That's all it is.
So here's an interesting one. Trump, and this is important. He slipped out the back door. Okay, and what went with him? What went with him when he went out the back door? So on the 6th, and I had a few people that were on the Republican side that were pissed off because on the 6th of December, when the riots, wait, not riots, what was they call that? The
resurrection.
No, when they came in and they got the tours, they got the, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So he was supposed to bring up on that night, it was said that he was supposed to bring up the stop the steal narrative. He was supposed to bring that out. And he was supposed to clearly indicate and bring up what had been happening with all of what Giuliani had been doing and everybody else has been doing to show. And I've watched all those hearings. I've watched many of that information. And what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to bring up the stop the steal proof that he had at that moment and challenge and throw out that challenge. But what happened to stop the steal slipped out, and I'm just going to say this, out the same door that he slithered out of. Because he's a fucking tool too. I know he's coming back and he's making his presence, but and then people were saying he was going to start his own party and all this other shit, but he clearly said, no, I'm not going to. Wouldn't that be like the first thing you do if you were fucking cheated out of
No, but they still could cheat because during that 2020 election, the Democrats was going to court. They was taking Green Party candidates off the ballot, and they did.
Oh yeah, that's a piece of it. But what I'm saying is Trump had his moment. He could have came out at that moment when he was supposed to, that was set up, but things changed. I don't know how it changed, but it changed. Is that he left and stopped the steal. Where did it go? Because he had that moment where he could have challenged the status quo. He could have challenged what was happening. When you have Convo Couch, you had all these other Convo Couch, where are they? They did that video with Nico House and Pasta and Tim Canova, right? They were beating up one of the fucking Dominion machines with a baseball bat, showing that the fucking it was great. It was great. You got it. What was the video? What was the song they were playing? DMX, right? No. But anyway,
It was from the Office Space.
from Office Space or something like that, and they were just showing that all of it was totally rigged. The entire fucking general election, because they got by with it, and Stevie brought this up. So they got by with it in Bernie in 2016. And Bernie bent over. Yeah, exactly. So at that point in the primary of 2016 and the primary of 2019, 2020, they got by with it. So let's do it again, and let's go after the general, because we have Dominion, we have the machines, we have everything. We can fucking do this. And they did it. And they fucking did it. And Trump, which pissed me off, didn't fucking come out and say, look, you motherfuckers, I am not conceding. He went out the back door instead of the front door and said, no, this ain't happening.
Why would he?
What?
Why would he?
No, because he needed...
Why would he? I mean, like, what is it? How does it benefit him to...
No, that's what I'm saying. No, because people need to understand. Trump, who is a child of a very, very rich family, who comes from a diamond spoon, not a silver spoon, not a gold spoon, but a very diamond-studded spoon. And when he left, when he was pushed out of the nest, he was given, in a sense, billions of dollars with lawyers and public CPAs certified public accountants and lawyers and everything at his disposal to help create his empire. So he is never, ever going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's never going to be there. He knows that. His life has been set for him. So if I had Joe the plumber, which I think everybody remembers that, a guy that doesn't have that would have been more, in my opinion, trustworthy. But Trump has never been there. He's not that guy. He's all about the deal. The deal. He wrote the book, The Deal. So with this guy knowing about the deal, he took the deal from Big Pharma. He, in July and August, and his administration, now keep in mind, when he first started his 2020 campaign, in the beginning, I think it was December, he came out and said, December or February, I think it was February, he came out and said, stop this fucking DNC hoax, this is a bunch of bullshit, and all this other stuff, and I've got it on tape, and I should show it, because it's very pertinent. And then in July and August, his administration buys 100 million doses of freaking vaccines. And they buy another 100 million doses in August. This guy took the deal and he fucking bailed. I don't care what anybody says. He's not a savior. He is one of the greatest opportunists besides Andrew Yang that knows how to be where the money is. His life is predicated on that. His life is absorbed in that. He's not who people think he is. Oh, he's the next Messiah. Oh, he's going to help us. No. He's not that guy. Trust the plan. Everybody that's ever been in office has been compromised, bought, and sold 10 times over. They're all of them that have run for president have been part of that plan. The only reason, a great example of that is when Bloomberg came out of nowhere, gave the DNC like $500 million in some fucking crazy donation. Next thing you know, what is he doing? He's on national fucking television after everybody has just spent like 8 to 6 months, right, campaigning and being in these debates. He comes out of nowhere and everybody's fine with it. This is how money controls our government. It's always controlled our government. We, as the 99%, must and absolutely must understand this very simple fact, that we're not going to get a piece of that. We're not included in that party, like George Carlin said, right? Which the Democrats have already exploited. It's a big club and you're not in it, right? And I'm not talking about a big club of people, because there's rings within rings within rings that expand. But I'm talking about a small group of people control all of it and all the money. And if you keep your mind in that place, and I'm not telling you, Cheryl, to do that, because I know you understand all this, but the viewers and people that may be paying attention to this one day will understand.
I don't believe Trump was a part of that club. So they're still trying to destroy him.
Oh no, he's the best. He's a great distraction. He's a great distraction. Trump. Look, Trump is not your friend. Trump is never.
I didn't say he was my friend, but I know he knew how to talk to regular people. Unlike what Nancy Pelosi said about.
Yeah, well, Nancy's a second psychopath, and Trump is a rich, spoiled brat. There's a difference. There's a difference. You have a narcissistic, and Trump is definitely narcissistic. But there's
Nancy is narcissistic.
Yeah, she's
Obama
a psycho.
was
narcissistic.
narcissistic.
They're all
There's a lot of them that are.
Yeah. But anybody that gets close to that epsilon or that particular place, Cheryl, anybody that gets close to that position, they've already been groomed. They've already been given the script. And I know for a fact that Trump has gone off script. Everybody knows that. And that pisses a lot of people off, which I think is fucking cool. Right? That's why they pulled him off of Twitter. That's why they pull him every, because he's like, fuck you. Because he's so fucking into him. He can say whatever he fucking wants. He doesn't care. He's never going to be harmed. There's a difference. He will never see a jail cell. He will never be imprisoned. He probably won't be assassinated because he has people that he knows that if I get assassinated, guess what? If I get assassinated, I got enough money to have people fucking assassinate you. That's how powerful this little kid is. This little bully. He is that man. I mean, that's impressive, but that's not the kind of leaders we need. The kind of people that we need are Stevie. The kind of people that we need are Frank. The kind of people we need is like you. The kind of people, not fucking me ever. But the kind of people that we need out there are people that have been in the trenches, that have fought, that have been homeless, that have been in places that most people have never been exposed to.
We'll never get that because they don't want us to have that.
No, they won't. No, because we're not. Because some of those people can be compromised, but if you have somebody with core values that really care and give a shit about their kids, about the planet, about their kids and other people's kids and their neighbor and their village, like most of us do, and I fucking, that's just been me. That's my life. They don't want those people. They don't want those people because they're harder to compromise. They're harder to take. They're harder to get to take that offer. And a lot of people get offered that. Once you get into Congress as a House of Representative, and then your goal is to be a senator, they show you that vault. And I've said this many times. They open that, they crack that door for you, and they say, see that? Look in there. You could go in there and grab as much as you want. You just gotta play by our rules and you're good to go. You're good to go. And this happens to a lot of them. And the sad thing is we keep feeding these monsters. I mean, how in the fuck are 80% of the fucking legislators in our capital are millionaires? How is that even happening? It's wrong, Cheryl. The whole system needs to go. That's why we started Party Exodus. Because the whole entire system is fucked up. It was created to be fucked up. It's never going to help the 99%. We have to create our own system. We have to do it. I'm not saying to create our own country. I'm not created to not be an American, because I'm very proud to be an American, to fight for the people I fought for. You, me, my kids, the 99%. I don't want those people to be involved in the fruits and the labors that I provide anymore. I don't want those fucking oligarchs and those tools to be a part of it. I want to exclude them as far away as I can from what I'm trying to give to everyone that is out there that wants a better life for themselves, a better wage, a better health care system, a better educational system, a better technological system, a better futuristic system, something, I'm not dreaming up like super utopia. What is that? It's not Veritas or something. I don't know what the fuck. But there's so many different ways that I think all of us can help. But it's not going to happen in our current U.S. political, electoral, or voting system. Party Exodus, man. We got to do it ourselves. How else are you going to do it?
As long as the Democrats in control, it's not going to be possible. As long as they get the cheat, it's not going to be possible.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just the only way that things are going to change is if we just not. I mean, we have to resist on all levels. I mean, stop doing anything that benefits them, and nothing's too petty because there's nothing. They have no levels of pettiness that they won't reach in order to steal a penny, from the poor, or to. I mean, nothing is too small for them, to attack us. So you know what? I mean, nothing's too small for us to. It takes just everybody doing a small thing, and all those small things add up. It adds up. So yeah, I mean, just resist on any shape and form that you can. I mean, out in the streets, don't participate in their systems, don't work for them, don't buy from them. I mean, if you can, if you have to, I mean, anything you can do, to fuck with them, that's what you got to do. And at the same time, you've got to take care of your neighbors. You got to take care of your community. It's not enough just to go through and be destructive. There, you have to build something in its place. You have to do because we're calling these people out for not doing their job, but if they're not going to do their job, somebody has to do it. So we've got to have people like that can do those kinds of things. So, that's just how I see it working out. But the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be, and the harder it's going to be, the less people are going to want to do it. So time's a definite factor.
Sure, are you able to get out and move around? And because we're thinking of going out in May to someplace that's important. That's all I have to say.
Well, I'll be working back at the post office, so that's 12 hours a day.
What?
So,
Go to the post office. 12 hours.
yeah, I'm starting back work at the post office, and my hours will be 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 1 day off.
What the fuck?
Jesus.
Yep. It's
Oh
good
my
money.
God. Yeah, oh my God, still, but oh my God.
It's good money, but
Jesus Christ mighty.
hmm
Wow.
12 hours a day,
Wow.
8:30 to 9 at night.
6 days a week. That's insane.
And the feds kills me with taxes from the overtime.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, I got something for you, just to let you know. If we become corporations, somebody, Stevie brought this up a while back. Why don't we all become corporations? Get the tax benefits. Why don't we all learn in school how to become an LLC or a limited liability company? I mean, and sell products and do these certain things. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like high school just doesn't prepare you for that. There's so many other ways to be. I mean, it's like fight fire with fire. I mean, hey, corporations are people too, right? So why don't we all become corporations? Right? And reap the benefits. Write off everything. Oh, I'm going to McDonald's. Oh, it's a meeting. It's a business meeting. Oh, I'm getting gas. Oh, I'm going to a business meeting. I'm buying a lamp. Oh, it's for my office. You know what I mean? Tax write-off, tax write-off, tax write-off. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's like we're positioned and we're poised and created to be fucking slaves. It's fucked up, man. I mean, I work from home, but I used to work my ass off a lot. But I still do my hours. I got to sit in my fucking chair. I got to do what I got to do. I'm monitored. I'm screened. I got to make sure I dot my I's and fucking cross my T's and all that other shit. But there's a better way of life out there. And it sucks because these people that are currently in power, they don't want it. They don't want it. They don't want us to have us. They have it. They don't want us to have it. Because if I've got money and I've got power, guess what? They lose that power. They understand that very common core system process. If we all become powerful and rich, right? I'm not talking like bazillionaire rich, but we just know how to not manipulate, but kind of trick the system, just like they are. Then they're screwed. Then they'll be intimidated, basically. But I gotta get going. Cheryl, you're fantastic. Love you a bunches. Steve, you want to say goodbye? We're gonna come out there and we're gonna see you, okay? For sure. Right? But before I go, I wanted to say this is Nancy Pelosi said these words. I don't know if you heard this when I first started.
I love you, George Floyd. I love that you sacrificed your life for justice.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm like, the man was fucking murdered. What the hell is she talking about?
What the fuck?
Using politics. They used his death politically.
It's her exact words. Oh my God. Sorry to keep you
They
going. But
used it politically.
oh yeah, they did. It was all. That's exactly what they were going to do.
When
With
they
that.
showed his whole funeral on TV, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
Eric Gardner was
how
the
many
first
different
one
angles?
choked to death. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eric Gardner was the first black person choked to death by a police officer. It wasn't George Floyd. They didn't go all out for Eric Gardner.
No, the big guy that was in front of
in
that
New
store.
York.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They did a fucking rear naked choke on that motherfucker. I'm like, why would we just let
Hell
go?
yeah. Nope. And he kept saying, I can't breathe. This was politically motivated, this man's death, and she proved it when she made that statement.
Exactly. But Stevie says something that was fucking just amazingly clever. Because it's Stevie, right? So her exact words for Nancy Pelosi was, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing. Excuse me, let me do it again. Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice. Stevie immediately, when I told her that, she goes, I don't remember anybody asking George about that. Right? It's like, I don't remember anybody actually asking George if he was going to like do that for people or do that for them. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not, what she meant to say was, thank you, George Floyd, for pushing our agenda. Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing yourself for our fucking party. That's what that says.
At least she remembered his name this time, because remember when they passed the George Floyd bill and she forgot his name, called him some other name? Yeah, so
Kurt.
I mean, yeah, this time she remembered his name. Good job, Nancy. Good job.
Cheryl said it. What was the name?
Did she call him Kirby or something like that?
It's like Kirby Wilbur or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then at the same time, it's just like, well, I mean, she's acting like he's the first African American that this has happened to, and he really isn't. He's not the first, and I guarantee you, he's not going to be the last. But they're gonna put this trial up there and say, well, see, look, we have a justice system, and justice exists, and bad people get what's coming to them, and if any cop steps out of line, then this is what will happen to them. But since the trial's been going on, I mean, there's been how many more instances? I mean, I could think of 5 off the top of my head. So, I mean, children being shot, and not just Adam Toledo, I think that's his name. There's a girl, 16-year-old girl, honor roll student, shot and killed for calling the police because she was being threatened. And instead of showing up and protecting her like they were supposed to, they killed her. So, it's continuing to happen. There's no systematic change. I mean, look at the hell that had to be raised in order just for this one guy, to and we don't even know what his sentencing is going to be like. So we still got to prepare for that bullshit, because I guarantee it's not going to be anything Um, it's not going to be that bad on them. I doubt it.
So what is your gut feeling and take on this? So I'd really like to know because I have a good feeling. I know, but go ahead.
On the George Floyd case,
Yeah.
they said that the sentences that what he was charged with, he could get 12 years, but I think he's gonna get like 3.
You gonna get 3?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's up
What
to
was
the judge.
What was the charge? It was accidental manslaughter.
It was 2nd-degree murder and something manslaughter and.
Yeah, because if it's manslaughter, it's definitely going to be a whole lot less than murder.
So they've got not to keep going here, but I put this up on my Facebook. See if we can see this. There's after Chavez, Minnesota is set to prosecute 3 other officers in the Floyd death,
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's the other trial coming up.
Yeah, so and then I put simply good luck with that, right? We'll see how that's going to work. You know, this is not,
And
this is nonsense.
all these lockdowns and wearing masks, they all being done in democratically ran states. All the Republican states are open.
Yeah, okay, let's get back to the real root of fucking pretty much everything, right? So you have Black Lives Matter protests out there by I think, right, and everywhere. But they're okay to protest, but Sturgis had a rally with bikers, and they can't be there because they're COVID threats.
Yeah, it was COVID spreaders.
They're COVID spreaders, man.
They lied about how many died, and it wasn't even that. Only one person died for COVID, and that was it.
Well, we don't really know he died from COVID, but what we do know is it's bullshit. And all of it's bullshit, and everything mainstream media puts out is bullshit. Big pharma fucking rules everything. Big industry rules everything. Everybody's being played like a fucking, hey, propaganda. Good night, friends. Love you all. Hey, propaganda. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Yellow Brick Road. Oh, my God. Honey, are you watching chat? Because there's people.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. No, she wasn't. But we're trying. But the thing is, peace out, weirdos. Cheryl, you got to come on and talk with these guys and yell at us sometimes. It's great. I'll jump on every once in a while because Stevie will have it on, and I'll just be listening. I'm just going, oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh, that's awesome. But what I do miss is Rebel and Dominic and Salvador's and Kelly and everybody coming on, and Eric and all those guys. We used to have some great conversations.
Yes, we did.
And I will say this, I'm not saying we were the pioneers, but these conversations have been happening for decades. Yep. And the thing is what needs to happen, what I know for sure that needs to happen is we need to resist. We need to defy instead of comply. And that has been, and it's only because the only reason why I will comply after I've done my research. I will comply after I've checked, chickity checked everything, right? I will comply after I know I'm good to go. But I won't comply and I will defy. I was loving the show tonight. We need to work on networking to get this call in shows the hot thing to do. Okay. Proper, thank you, buddy. Good seeing you, bro. He's so awesome. I love that kid. He's just fucking amazing. He's good people. For sure. But we need to defy. Now we need to be defiant. We need to be and not because I'm telling you to. You have to make up your own mind to do that. You have to. I'm not going to say, oh, Jimmy said, or James said, or Jimbo said, or Montauk said, or Coconut Voyager said that you need to do that. And I don't want to do it because Jimmy Dore said. I don't want to do it because Kyle Kalinske said. I want people.
Jimmy Dore took the damn vaccine.
Yeah. Oh, he's just pathetic right now. I don't know what the guy. He's a broken record. You know that. He's saying that yep. He's saying the same shit, different day. It's like, and people just play into it. It's really sad.
Oh, and I was upset when I watched that video of Deb Delia Piana. She mentioned both of your names, Stevie King and James Young. Y'all anti-vaccine.
Who
But
mentioned
she's
this?
doing, huh?
Who did?
Deb Delia Piana.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
So
y'all anti-vaxxers.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And somebody questioned it because after somebody left comment in her video, because I'm like, wait a minute. You were saying when this first came out, you weren't going to take that vaccine when they talking about making the vaccine.
She was
caught
saying a lot of
COVID.
stuff about vaccines.
Yeah, she's pushing that shit now. It's kind of sad.
No, I mean, but,
Yeah,
but
and I'm
before all
like-
this, she was saying that vaccines are harmful before any of this
Yeah.
talk with COVID stuff. So now all of a sudden it's the other way around. I guess all that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, it was just like, I used to love watching her, but then she started going, and then when she mentioned YouTube, I'm like, calling y'all anti-vaxxers. I'm like, oh. And somebody mentioned in the comment, wow, I'm shocked that you're saying these things. You
Yeah, I'm so anti-vax
Yeah.
that my kids are vaccinated. Sure.
My kids are vaccinated, but not for this shit. My boys and my kids, and I got a lot because I've been all over the country. They're smart and they're doing the right thing, and whatever's best for. If they're over 18, I always tell them, don't fucking do what you'll regret later. I want you to do your research, check everything before you, but the biggest thing is for Deb Della Piana, which I can't believe I'm saying her name, and I apologize to my viewers or anybody that's paying attention. She's gone down a road that I've tried to reach out to her. I've tried to say, hey, come on, let's talk. Let's see what we can do. But she's with the status quo. It's just really weird to me that she would go in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shocked me.
Right. Yeah. It shocked all of us.
I mean, she even did a bunch of videos about how nefarious Bill Gates is. She was talking about all this stuff about the vaccines and how vaccines are dangerous, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and I understand that she had a health scare and all that, and then
For anybody, of course.
yeah, and I understand how scary that could be. I mean, I've had family members that had it, and it's definitely, yeah, it's
Had what? Sorry.
Well, I'm going to go, guys.
Yeah, so we don't know what they really had, right? All we know is okay, Cheryl, just saying. We don't know. What we don't know is this simple fact, is none of the information is being challenged, right?
Nope.
Nobody's saying, okay, so you're saying this. And when I see Rand Paul, right, come up and go, oh, Fossey, this is right? So he's not really asking the questions that most of us want to hear, right? And it's very obvious, and it's kind of sad. But at the same time, for all of us to just be so complacent, it's like we're okay with it. And that's what gets me is we're and I'm not speaking, and I'm not perfect, but most of us are just very complacent and very okay with what's happening. And I'm at that place now that I'm just like, no, I'm fighting. I'm gonna fucking punch up. I'm gonna keep punching up, and I'm gonna go fucking nutso crazy at that motherfucker that's coming after me. And I know it's not you, and I know it's not you. It's the oligarchs. They're coming after us tooth and nail. They are investing everything they have in what's happening right now. Everything they have. Propaganda said the tests are flawed. So could the mess up with the results of the death of COVID related. Yeah, absolutely, Proper. Absolutely. So I am going to keep fighting for what's best for all of us. Cheryl, I know you are. Stevie, are you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all are. And let's keep going. Let's not. I won't give up. That's just me, right? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. You know, go Godzilla. That's all I got to say. Cheryl, yeah, go Godzilla. Anyway, Cheryl, thank you for being here. It's always
You're
a
welcome.
pleasure and a delight to have you on. And it is super amazing that you're here with us as usual. Let's try to get the old guard back. I'm going to do my best to try to get a show of the old guard, because I know Kelly fucking hates this shit. I know Dominique hates this shit. He's fucking done with it. I know that Zaldivar fucking hates this shit. I know that Bram hates this. Is like, what? This is so fucking stupid. I think we're all now on the same page. So what I'm going to try to do is get us all together, and I might even bring, believe it or not, Eben. Because
That would be great.
no, Eben's good. I love Eben. He's got some good stuff. I love Eben. And it's good to have him back in our group. So we need to regather, reorganize, bring the people back that started all this, from my perspective, and get things
Right.
going again, all right? Anyway, Cheryl, thank you so much for being here. Stevie,
Yeah, it was really good
we're
to
gonna.
talk with
I'm
you.
gonna do a big aloha to everybody. We're gonna do our big aloha, which we always do for everybody. Jump on and say hello, and let us see our faces. Hello, everybody. I know we haven't been here very long, but anyway, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Look at Stevie.
Okay.
You look at Stevie. She looks like a totally different person. Okay, now she looks like herself. Now she looks like herself. All right, doing the big shaka. Aloha, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of Montauk and the Coconut Voyager. What the fuck? The backup channel. Love you. Take care.
Right.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.